What's good, buddy?
Yo, what's going on, man? Sorry, everyone. We had some technical difficulties.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
What's going on?
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry. We were just building momentum there, I think.
Too much intro.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
What are you doing, Benny?
So,
Are we allowed to add the other 5 people? No?
Yeah. We're going.
There it is.
Oh, it's Poontang Man.
All right. We are finally in business. I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't even know what happened because some technical difficulties.
How you guys doing?
What's up, guys?
FELIX.
Hey, what up, man?
Anybody see a smile looking like a lobster?
Cool.
I'm gonna be having nightmares over that intro tonight. Oh my god!
It was a long intro.
Yo, man.
I can't complain. It was a long intro though, but
So much.
It's an awesome intro, but for 7 minutes it was killing me. Oh,
just remember, this is the first live, so we're fixing all the bugs. It's on me, so it's okay. Don't worry about it.
I got my coffee. I'm good.
I'm glad we're all
Everything's
here. I'm glad we're all here. So let's start this whole thing. So I appreciate you guys as guests to come into Breathe Around Table. So a little bit of backdrop of Breathe Around Table. Benny and I, we basically came up with this idea to create a platform for people, for experienced and non-experienced breeders to come together, basically give themselves a voice. So fortunately, you guys are our first guests. So we appreciate that. So definitely. So first we're gonna introduce ourselves.
Thank y'all for coming on.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
No worries, man. So I'm the host for tonight. I'm Owen. Got Balls is my business name. I've been breeding this is my 4th year. So you guys, as hosts, can introduce yourself.
I'm JR.
Yo,
JDR Pythons. Oh, go Benny.
I'm Benny, Jack North, and this is my 2nd season breeding.
We're Joe and
Candace.
We're J&K's Blazing Snakes, and this is our 1st year breeding snakes. So pretty excited to be here.
I'm JR from JDI Pythons. This is my 2nd year breeding.
Anybody see what Mary is?
Yeah, where'd Mary go?
She was here.
Mary just disappeared.
Remember, Jay?
Oh yeah, she's not up here. She's not on the TV either.
Yeah, she might have just disappeared, guys. No worries.
Who?
She'll pop
Mary?
back on. She'll pop back on when she comes
I'm
on.
here,
Okay, not a problem. Not a problem. So we got our couple of you guys, which I chose. Oh, there's Mary. Let's have her. Hey, welcome back, Mary.
Hey, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Mary,
No
Mary Python in the Holy Balls, and this is
Okay.
So,
All right. So
yeah.
I picked you guys specifically for this show because you guys are my first host, and I like all you guys, and I've worked and dealt with a lot of you guys. You guys are great people, and I wanted to make this first show about the people I've come to know and the people I've basically learned to become friends and acquaintance through this whole process of community and whatnot. First, Brian. Hey, Brian, what's going on, buddy?
Hi.
In and out.
Yeah, I just wanted to if you're not speaking, it just might be a good idea to hit the mute button right there. And
You hear me all right on?
It'll help kill the
Okay.
all that dead air noise. So when you're not speaking, maybe just hit that mute button like.
There you go. All right, Brian. We got our bad boy from New York, Brian. aka SAMSONS SNAKEATORIUM, aka the Instigator. So, Brian, tell me a little bit about yourself. So we know who you are, but at least for the people that's watching.
How you guys doing? I'm the CEO's pops. We started SAMSONS SNAKEATORIUM about 3 years ago. I personally am a keeper for upwards of 28 years. I think that's probably longer than some of you have been on Earth. But I've been doing this with my son. He's been a CEO now with his own SNAKEATORIUM for 3 years. This is his first year. He's done 3 years of research and preparation for his first year of breeding. And in total, with other partnerships and other breeders that I work with, our goal is at minimum 200 babies this year.
Nice. What else do you do in the community, Brian? I know you do a lot more. You got live, you got other stuff. At least
Okay.
share what you do.
I instigate a lot of shit. No, I'm just kidding. I do like to spread awareness about stuff. As everybody knows, I'm rocking. Can you see it? That's Ball Python Shed. Josh and Jackie, they started something good on Facebook, the Reptile Rescue 101, which collected a lot of money. I personally have What's in Your Cup on Wednesday, 7 a.m. We drink a cup of coffee. Owen, you're scheduled this month. We drink a cup of coffee and we talk about everything. I mean, obviously we talk about snakes and that comes up, but we talk about us outside of the snake world. People share about their families, their jobs, pretty much anything and everything. It's just a variety type talk show. 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesdays, every Wednesday. We've had some awesome guests, and just the participation is amazing to see how many people wake up at 7 o'clock. I mean, even Brian Cusco said he'll be on the show, and that's 4 a.m. for him. And he was like, I could do it. And I was just like, wow, that's really impressive. Brian Gundy has asked when we're having coffee. That's 4 a.m. for him. So it's gotten some really, really good feedback. Every Friday, 8 p.m., I do the Keeper's Corner with Jason from Canadian Reptile Adventures. And that is primarily on keeping. I joke around about you and JDI being the odd couple. We are our own odd couple. I say it's where SAMSONS SNAKEATORIUM and Canadian Reptile Adventures intersect. It's kind of where the USA and Canada intersect. And then you just see the very, very different personalities between Jason and myself. He's very, very straight and narrow, and I'm a little bit more of a wise ass. So we have fun. I like to make him blush or do funny things. Like last week, the magic word was KY jelly, and I wanted to see how many times I can make him say KY jelly. Then I also do bowling with Brian, which is just random. It can happen any day of the week, and that's just showing off your balls. You know, that's what we're here for. You got balls, we want to show them off. You know what I mean? That's it, baby. And then with Samson, like I said, I was very happy. I was elated. We were counting last night. Samson is now 9 years old. He was on national television twice last year about being an entrepreneur and about his snake business. And I was just very happy that he gravitated to the hobby. This was not imposed on him. This was something that we went to a show, and he's actually the one that got me back into ball pythons. I got my first ball python about 26 years ago. I was into the bigger snakes, Burmese and boas. Samson liked the ball python when we went to the show, and that was the beginning of it. Right now, that kid owns himself personally over 50 ball pythons. So it's pretty cool to be doing it, with your son.
Nice.
And then I got 2 grandsons that I'm forcing into it. They have no choice.
That's awesome. Next, we got 2 Canadian brothers here. Not brothers, Lily, but Canadian brothers. I got House of GAIA, right?
GAIA.
And Brian from STEELE Ball Python. So Sal, do you guys know each other? Have you guys spoken to each other?
I don't think so. No.
No, I don't think so.
How far do you guys live from each other?
Where are you at?
London, Ontario.
Okay, I'm in Alberta, so we're a good distance away.
All right. Well, this is a good opportunity for you guys to maybe reach out to each other. Sal's a good guy, you know. So I mean, Brian is as well. JR is basically shaking his head. Tell us a little bit about you guys. Either one can go first. Doesn't matter.
Go ahead, Sal.
You want me to go first? Or you want to go first?
Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, classic. Yeah, so my name is Sal. I'm from Alberta, Canada, up north here. I've been keeping reptiles for about 16 years now. I started off with bearded dragon, and then that kind of spiraled into the snakes. I've always been fascinated by reptiles. So once I got my first ball python, I got pretty hooked. In a couple of years, once I started seeing all the different mutations starting to come out, I got pretty interested. It went from like, it was like the classic get one ball python, then get two, and then you have like 45. So I think I had a section back in 2012, and then I was in it for like 3 years or so, and then I got out of it for a while. I just went through some stuff in life, and then just recently last year came back into it and kind of did that same thing where I got two, and then it just excelled from there. And you know, getting kids involved, and I have a 6-year-old now, so she's getting super involved with it too. She's trying to pick up with it, and yeah, this is going to be my first year going back into breeding, so I'm really excited. We have kind of a smaller collection, comparatively around like about 45 snakes or so now. So yeah, just super excited and really appreciate you guys having me here.
That's awesome. Sal, I don't know if your mic is not going in and out. I don't know if you guys are hearing that, but your mic for me is going in and out.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel like I can tell he's all in Alberta. I would know. I don't know where.
Okay.
That's a Canadian mic for you.
Yeah.
All right, Brian.
Okay, let me try to.
Is this the same Brian? There's two Brian with Y, right? Both of you guys are Brian with a Y?
Yep. The only way to spell it.
Much respect. Much respect.
Yeah, we started off, my wife and I started off with just buying a male albino just as a pet. And the addiction just jumped rapidly. Within the first year, we started this in 2020 of January, actually. So this is just over a year for us. And it jumped up fast, right up to a full, we had a clutch. We had a full breeding going with two ball pythons. Jumped right up into a clutch right on my birthday. Babies right around Christmas. So, I mean, we hit it hard. We're into 15 of our own ball pythons at this moment. 6 new hatchlings that we're feeding off, getting them ready to put them up to sale. And we have one that's going out for one of our amazing giveaways that I do with Diabolical, and one that's a holdback. And yeah, I mean, it's been amazing. And I mean, the honor of just sitting here with you guys. I mean, this is where we learned. We learned everything from watching you guys, listening to you guys, and having you guys help us with any of the questions that we've ever had. So, yeah, I mean, it's still learning.
What happened?
And we lost
service?
I don't know. He said you don't say you guys 3 times. You get kicked off the show.
Canadian internet.
I know.
You might be fixing it today,
gone.
I know.
Canadians are gone. I thought we were all friends here.
I'll see if he pops back here.
Who's next, man? All right. Well, when they come back, we'll listen to them. But we do have Felix and Chris over at River Exotic Reptiles. And if you guys don't know these two guys, I was actually the guy that called Felix up. One of the boy that you know, he called my cousin Braulio.
Braulio, yeah.
Gave me his number to call, and that's what started the whole ball python craze. So I owe part of that to this guy, Felix, right here.
That's who we have to blame then.
Yeah, he's got to blame him, man. He made me the
Yeah.
way I am because of him. So tell us a little about
That's
you guys.
good.
And you guys are in Fall River, so they're actually my neighbors. You know, in Massachusetts. I don't really go to Fall River. It's kind of ghetto for me.
Wow.
Wow.
But no, these guys are good though, man.
Oh man.
Just playing, man. Just playing. Tell us a little about yourself, guys.
Yeah, well, you know, I've been in the hobby for 27 years now. Breeding. I started breeding ball pythons about 15 years ago. I worked at the first reptile place in Rhode Island because I'm originally from Rhode Island. And I worked at the first reptile place called the Reptile Emporium that Mitchell Bryans used to own back in the day. And that's where I got my first job when I was 13 years old. From then on, I've just been fascinated with reptiles. And I've been keeping and breeding them, like I said, for 27 years now. I've been breeding ball pythons for 15. I used to work with Chris, and just like you got your start, Chris showed some interest as well, and we kind of teamed up. And I had a collection that had I had Bretelies, I had jungle carpets, I had a bunch of stuff, spotted pythons, just a varied collection. And I kind of just, once I teamed up with Chris, I kind of just refocused right now on just ball pythons as of now. And you know, we've been together for the last 6 years now, right?
Yeah, I've been breeding for about 7 years now. I started everything with hatchlings, and I spent a good 2 or 3 years raising up those hatchlings, and I learned a lot going that method. I actually, when I did that, I got a few from they were locally, and with them, I was able to learn how to take care of them, how to raise them, and obviously with the guidance with this guy. It was just a passion that drove me. I just can't get over how much I like this. I grew up my whole life with fat-tailed geckos, lizards, reptiles, and then semi-recently, as about 6-7 years ago, I got into the ball pythons. So that's how we started River Exotics. We love it, and this guy, I gotta tell you, he's the tech support. I'm the sales guy. He's tech support. So he's a lot of the knowledge. I'm gaining a lot of it always, but. Yeah, it works out really, really well.
That's a good duo, man. That's a good duo.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate you taking that phone call when I called you. So
absolutely. Yeah, like I always tell everybody, whether you buy a snake from me or not, I really don't care because knowledge is free. I mean, I've given a lot of people. I answer a lot of phone calls. Even just like the other day, I was on the phone with somebody for about an hour. You know what I'm saying? That it's starting to get into it themselves, and you know, that's the best thing that you can do, you know, is to help somebody out in the hobby so they get off on the right track. And one of the first advices that I give anybody, Chris and anybody else, is stay away from the forums.
True, man. Not this one. This one's good. We'll be good.
Yeah, no, this one's good for sure.
Now, Sal, I apologize. Did you get kicked out earlier? We tried to get rid of you and Brian, but
I just want to see. I might try to switch devices. I don't know if it's my phone. Am I clear now, or
it's still going in and out though. Still going in and out. Yeah.
Okay. I might try to just switch devices then. You guys sound pretty choppy on my end too. So
okay.
Yeah. So I might ditch out for a sec, but I'll come back in.
All right.
Okay.
Don't worry. Now the last guy here we got is Kyle. Looks like Stone Cold Wrestler here. How you doing, buddy? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm doing pretty good. How y'all?
So tell me about yourself. Tell me about your oldest daughter getting you back in the game.
It's not even bringing me in.
I started with the ball pythons originally, probably about 10 years ago. I was in it for the wrong reasons. I was going to get rich and famous, you know, from playing with balls. Go figure. I got into the buying deals, and I loaded down with ball pythons. I think when I sold out the first time, I had probably about 60 snakes. Produced a few clutches. It was just, again, all for the wrong reasons. Sold out for years. After my first, last year. So, come up to me and says, I bought Python. Not sure how them, not even sure. It was a YouTube video she came across. We traded for a snake, and within a month, number 2 come in. I think 26 now. This time I'm kind of focused on plans, into it, trying to make mistakes.
Kyle, man, you're really choppy. Oh, he's gone.
I don't know. It
might be his internet because he's in the boonies somewhere.
Yeah, he's using his cell phone service, I think.
Yeah, another thing, with StreamYard, the cell phones don't give you the best connectivity, so it's better using on a laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta.
Oh, you still there? Can you hear us? I think he's trying to get on, but I think his phone's not giving him a good enough service. Yeah, he's ditched. They'll come back. They'll come back on. Anyway, well, thank you for introducing yourself. I appreciate that. It's a way for everybody to know each other, you know, in a more personal level.
Owen, have you guys read the comments by any chance?
No, I can't see the comments.
Oh, okay, because
I was checking.
I mean, what the hell is this that JR was showing his huge balls yesterday? What the hell's that all about?
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Somebody said, Lizard Mom said that she saw a huge ball yesterday.
Bro, I don't even know what the hell she's talking about. I don't know where my big balls come into play.
Thank goodness I can't see it because I don't know how to explain that. So, anyway,
I think it's I see Morph Seekers in here. Happy birthday to that guy.
I know. Today.
Happy
Robert's
birthday.
today.
Happy birthday.
Robert's
Robert.
Robert's doing a pretty good job with what he's doing for the community, trying to help out. I think he's doing a good job. That's what he's doing right now. I appreciate that.
Whose birthday is it?
His birthday. Robert.
Happy cumpleaños.
Y'all need to check out his latest YouTube video. It's really cool.
Yeah, he did. Good shout out to him. Now we got a bunch of topics to talk about. One thing we can talk about right here is females in the hobby. Let me know what you guys think about that because we don't see a lot of females in the hobby. You guys,
and the ones that are in the hobby, man, no disrespect, but we don't see enough of them. They wear too many clothes.
I think the ones that are in the hobby now are doing a good job, you know.
Yeah, they are.
She's doing great things. A lot of her animals are great.
Is there a reason why they don't see a lot of them?
You know?
Let me ask you a question, Owen. When you say that, are we specifically mentioning or talking about females that are in the hobby? Because I honestly think there are a lot. I'm surprised by the amount of females that are in the hobby, to tell you the truth. And then and I'm talking women that are exclusively in it by themselves, not the husband-wife teams. Because there's a ton of husband-wife teams that are doing their thing also, so we can't exclude the wives from that, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Royally Morphidelic has got a great wife.
I mean, there's a lot of husband-wife teams in it, and then you have, put it like this: I didn't you got Red Bottoms, right? She's the reason why I made my donation to the Reptile Relief Fund, because she shared that information. She's always out there. This is a 6-foot blonde woman over here that's slaying retics. I'm only saying retics for you, Rachel, because I call them retics. But I mean, she's handling 20-foot retics like nothing. And then there are women that have been here. You have Nikki. I mean, it's Nikki and Jason from Mutation Station, but that's really the Nikki show over there. And I mean, gosh, then we get into kids. You got Kayla, her daughter, who's 11 years old, and she probably knows as much or more than most of them on here. This young lady is crushing it at 11 years old. So I think that we have a lot of women in the hobby. Now, whether or not they get their due, I mean, it's a man's world, unfortunately, and it's no different in this hobby where, you know, they have to work twice as hard. I had a conversation with, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Sandra from Love Balls and Herps. She's out of Arizona. She has a great collection. She's the hobbyist. She's the breeder, not her husband. And you know, she's had, you know, her situations where it's almost twice as difficult to get a point across or whatever have you. I just think that in this hobby, just like anything else, any other industry, any other community, you guys hear me say it all the time, it takes a village, and we just have to make sure we're doing our part to uplift the ladies that are in the hobby so we don't lose the women in the hobby. Matter of fact, GAIA, I saw you and your wife doing a live not too long ago. So
yeah,
you know, what are your thoughts on that?
No, I mean, I agree. I think we're, as a community, everyone should be doing their part, and like we should be supporting each other and getting your spouse involved in general. If you can make that happen, I mean, that in any aspect of life, it makes it easier, right? And I mean, it is a good thing. It's nice to see, especially like if anyone goes back, like way back, it was way different back then. Like it even for me, like I haven't been in it for that long, but just seeing the difference, even when we used to be able to go to shows, just seeing the change and you know, seeing women there and having animals in their hands, not just their husbands carrying the animals, and they're just kind of like behind them looking kind of depressed. Like you can see the difference and see the excitement. And even like on Instagram, on social media, you can see the difference too and see the push. So it is nice to see for sure. Yeah, and like you were saying, man, like Brian, you know, it's up to us too to give that positivity out there and show like the respect that's deserved, man. We all have moms, you know, like I just feel, you know, we have to show that respect for sure.
And Mary, just like us men always do, we want to speak on behalf of women. So maybe it'd be nice to hear from you.
No, wow.
You know what I found in this community, and I come from a background where I was a machinist mate in the Navy for 4 years, and definitely had to work harder than the men to prove that women could do the job. And then now I'm in the car business, service car business, and again, women have to work harder to prove themselves. In the hobby, though, I don't find it that way. I get support from everybody. I try to give as much support when I see other women that are in the hobby. Those are automatic follows. I follow everybody anyway, but absolutely try to lift them up. But I do not see the sexism in the hobby that I see in the automobile industry, or that I saw in the Navy at all. You guys are awesome.
I agree with you there, Mary. I agree with a bunch of you guys. Now there could be a perception that we don't see as much, but I think they're there. They're there, but they're not like us, who's out in the open, constantly trying to.
Yeah.
You know, they're there though. They're just more like under the radar kind of deal.
Low key.
Yeah, low key, you know, and that's nothing wrong with that. But as Brian was saying, you know, Sal, you know, obviously you got your wife working with you, helping you out. You know, our goal is to make sure everyone is welcome. You know what I mean? And the more we appreciate them, the more we raise them up, and you know, and have put a center of attention. This hobby is going to grow together. We're all going to grow together in the team.
Absolutely.
Owen, yep. Two weeks ago, I was very, very blessed to have Angie from Jar Pythons on What's in Your Cup.
Yeah, watch that.
She had never even posted a photo of her. That's Jar Pythons, guys. For those that don't know, it's James and Angie. Rafus, I believe, is the R. So Jar Pythons is another husband-wife team, and Angie, you can't even find the photo of her on Instagram. So when she had actually agreed to do the What's in Your Cup live with me, I was just taken aback. I was just so ecstatic about it. And then it turned out to be a great live. But she's more of a behind the scenes type of person. And it was the same thing with Sandra from Love Balls and Herbs. I mean, we had been going back and forth for some time, and it took a second for me to realize that I was having exchanges with a woman, because she was also very reserved and behind the scenes, and she just revealed herself like 2 weeks ago. But I think that it's without a doubt. We have some comments here, guys. Again, we're talking about JR's big balls. JR, you're gonna have to show us your big balls, man.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I do have, you know, there's a couple girls that are in this group that are just freaking amazing as well. You know, Kimmy Ortiz from Daybreak. You got Lizard Mom, who's coming up, who just got, you know, 2 snakes donated to her.
She's talking about your big balls right now.
I know she's talking about my balls. But I honestly, I got to just put my 2 cents in. I couldn't, you know, even the little bit that I talked to Mary, the way she responds to people is just, it's unmatched, you know. And there's a lot of people that need to, if you haven't talked to Miss Mary, be a girl to talk to. She's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, are there anybody that is in the reptile industry, female wise, that you guys watch, you guys enjoy watching? Like I enjoy watching Alyssa from Full Throttle.
Yep.
When she was doing all the thing, she's got a great collection too as well.
Yep.
So I mean, she got great content and stuff like that. I mean, those are, we don't see a lot of them, but that's somebody that I like watching.
Courtney from Exotics. She has an excellent YouTube channel. We've bumped into her a few times at Expo, Samson and I. She just has a great energy about her. I'm sure you guys have seen Nikki with her tumblers on Mutation Station. Nikki just has this energy that I tell her looks like she's freaking injecting caffeine in her veins all day, you know? Yeah. She just comes at you 100 miles an hour, like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" You know, I love her energy. You know, like I said, Red Bottom with her retics. I just think like we have some really, look, for me, any woman that's into snakes, I'm into that woman. You know, it's kind of like, it's just such a cool thing. It's like snake, you know, women smoking cigars, shooting pool, you know, riding a motorcycle. Those are all badass women. So any woman that's into the snake hobby is a badass woman right off the bat. I just think that they have a different approach. Women are more methodical, I want to say. For example, we have Dina. Dina's in the comments here. Dina currently has two snakes. Dina had been inbox or direct messaging me for a long time, and without even owning a snake. Like, she was doing all the legwork and the research, and she was very methodical about how she was going to be a keeper. She finally has she actually has 2 snakes now, one in her possession, but I'm confident that she has the knowledge to provide good husbandry and take care of the snake, because she was so adamant about it. Pandemic Pythons, that's another mother-daughter duo, and same thing. I mean, asking questions all the time, being meticulous about the research and the approach. So I think that that's a benefit we have. Unfortunately, I don't have the husband-wife thing going on here. Samson and I kind of, you know, imposed on Mama Bear that we were doing this. But she supports us from a distance. She allows us to do it. So I'm happy with that. But I just think that the women provide a much needed balance here. And besides, I'll be very honest with you. You guys are all ugly. I'd rather look at the ladies than you.
You haven't seen my shirt off yet. Anyway, that's good though. So I mean, further on, we gotta take care and support the woman in the hobby. You know, that's the way we gotta move forward. And you know, it is a community, and it does take a village to do this. And just like Brian always talk about, you know, in order for us to move forward, we need to move forward together. Anybody else want to talk about that? I got a couple more other stuff to talk about.
Well, before we move on, I just want to make sure we mention Nivial, Atypical. Those are husband-wife duos, but those are really all wife, man. Like it's like a running joke. It's like a running joke. Atypical.
I feel like that a lot.
Tom
like,
and
a lot
Casey.
of it is her. Like she's the one who
Also
does a lot
modern
of it.
Modern exotics.
Modern,
also.
yes.
Modern. Amber.
You got
And,
Course
Amber
River.
is so supportive and such an awesome person. And John's awesome too. But yeah, Amber runs the page pretty much and is at least 50-50 with her husband taking care of the animals.
Yeah. There's quite a few people out there that does it. It's just that there's a lot that we don't really know too. So definitely the people that shine out are the people that we're calling out on, and that's good. What do you guys think?
I think Melusine shines a lot, man. She does a lot for the community as well.
Kathleen.
Oh yeah.
She's one of your
like crazy.
Eh?
Yeah.
She's one of your people, eh?
Yeah, man.
She's from Canada.
Yeah,
She's from Canada. She's killing it on YouTube. She's an awesome interviewer, and I'm really glad to be following her and watching her journey and what she did for Atypical's son yesterday.
Awesome.
Did I see that live?
Yeah,
that was awesome.
That was phenomenal.
It was amazing. But she instigated that. She got that up and running. So mad.
She's grinding really hard. And I hope that she gets everything she deserves because she's putting the work in. So I think that's
100%.
She's definitely somebody to keep watching. Inspiration to the community.
And Shocking Exotics also. She's putting in the work right now. So I think that the ladies. Yeah, I think the ladies definitely. The ladies are present, guys. But just like I said, like anything else, we just have to make sure that we're receiving them. We have to make sure that we're receiving the ladies. You have a lot of ladies. I have a whole list. I mean, I literally in my notes on my phone, I have a list of lady herpers because whenever I see one, I like to plug them in. You have Black Tie Royals. You have Dominique DeFalco.
That's awesome. I love that logo.
She has a whole bunch of reptiles, and she's an awesome young lady. And there's just a whole Ella's Exotics. There's a whole list. And I actually every time I see a new female herper, I try to plug them in with the other ones because there's only so much support we can provide them as men. I think that they have to be able to support each other as well. So I always share them with each other as well. And then, like I said, we have the Jules and the Case. I mean, it's a running joke with Atypical. Like, who's Tom? Like when Tom's there, everybody's like, well, where's Casey? It's the Casey hour. So
I wanted to shout out a couple too.
Guys are blessed. So what about you, JK? Blazing Balls. Let's hear from Kay.
Yeah, we're a couple duo, but like we pretty much. It's great supporting each other because like. I'll know things that she doesn't know. She's always coming to me asking me questions and stuff. I can answer the questions, and then, there's things where she does a lot with the animals too. So, it's awesome. Anyways, we both got into it pretty much together too. Like watching pretty much all you guys on Instagram, YouTube, everything, and so like it was a chance for us to grow, do something new together, and. We love it the whole time so far. Anyways, everything's great.
The adrenaline rush, on the other hand, when you're feeding the snakes, is awesome. Hilarious, complete and utterable funniness. It's so funny.
It's just something we do. We spend a lot of our time together with the snakes and doing all the snake stuff. So, and then yeah.
You got it. It's a team. It's a team effort.
Mm-hmm.
It's a team effort.
For sure.
Of Daybreak Exotics as also a husband and wife, but the interesting thing is that they both got their separate collections. You see what I'm saying? They're working together, but they have separate collections. I think it's interesting how they're working.
That's
I
not.
seen Melodine was doing that too. She has like her
Yeah.
own collection.
Well, you know what, Benny? That definitely doesn't benefit us. That's just like bank accounts. You know, they have
Yeah.
their bank account and we have ours. I'll never forget my mom.
Bank account.
My mom telling my wife to have her own separate. I'm like, you're my mother, you know. My wife have her own separate bank account while she has all of our bank accounts. So that's not right, man, because it always benefits them in the long run.
Yeah,
I think he has more snakes now than Joey, so I think they'd be doing all right.
I don't know if Mitch is still in the chat, but just so y'all know, when he claims any of the snakes as his, no, he's got the lizards. The snakes are all mine. I let him handle them, and he didn't at first, and now he's just 100% handling snakes and helping take care of them. But they are mine. The snakes are mine, and he gets the lizard.
No, we try to do everything like ours. They're our snakes, you know. Like everything is ours, you know.
That's good, bro. Steele, what about you? You want to participate?
Yeah, we're the exact same as Joe and Candace. We do a team thing here as well. Like your question asked, we do a lot of different things, right? Like I do more of the social stuff. She does a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, but she's got a ton of snakes that she's gotten hold for. Her projects are very high up, like what she's looking to do, what she's looking to expand on, much higher than what I do. But we work solid as a team, and it's awesome in the sense that it allows us to interact, check on all the snakes, feed all the snakes, breed all the snakes, do everything together, as well as learn off each other as well. And then, you know, it just makes life a lot easier, and it opens up different avenues because I pick what I want to work with. She picks what she wants to work with. I do what I want to do. She does what she wants to do. And then down the road, we'll take everything and bring it all together and make something really crazy. So it's a lot of fun when you do a husband and wife team. And I think there's a lot of women that are just behind the scenes. They just don't want to be on the social side of it. They're out there like Jurassic, you know, Jinx, all those people that we talk to on a regular basis. They're out there. We just don't see them. Right. Yeah. And I think it's awesome. I think it's absolutely amazing. Like my wife knows a lot better combos than I do. So I let her do her thing. I do my thing, and we just go with it.
That was good.
Inflicted.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Inflicted had mentioned that he's trying to get Kimberly to come around. Inflicted is a daddy son duo. Jack and Jax. They actually won my pastel het paint girl a while back, and ironically, for those that do like JDI and those of you that do raffles and people don't want to get the later numbers, he won with the last number by default. He had earned that number, and he didn't get back to me because there was a lot of stuff going on, but he had still earned the number in it. You couldn't buy a spot for this STW. And he got that number by default and actually won by default. She'll come around, but I just wanted to say, like, we're just fortunate, even like for our wives that aren't in the hobby, we're just fortunate that they even let us do it. I mean, that's how I.
Yo, you ain't lying there, Brian. My wife, she could care less about what, you know, the snakes, but she's supportive. You know, she does her thing, you know, but it's good that she's very supportive of me and my boys, because this is also a father and son operation, and you know, she sees us that we're happy, and she's happy. You know, it's good.
Nice.
That's 100%.
I do want to.
She cheers to all the wives who are there behind the scenes and in the scenes. You know, cheers.
Coming up soon, so.
Honey Reptiles said they definitely could not be doing this without. He definitely couldn't be doing this without his wife. I just want to shout them out. They also have a baby on the way, so congratulations. Those are our future breeders coming.
Awesome!
Congrats.
Hey guys, I do want to throw a quick shout out to my wife as well. You know, she's been you know, there as well behind the scenes. When I first got into the hobby, she made it very clear to me that she wasn't going to interact with the animals. She'd look at them from a distance. That lasted for about a couple of weeks, and then she was holding them, I don't want to say kissing them, but maybe she was kissing them. No, she was all about them, and now she has her own breeding pair. She's already had eggs, a pied to a pied, and she does all the feedings with me. She helps with the cleanings. I mean, honestly, she is, you know, heavy into this. And you know, I'm just very, very lucky and blessed. So just wanted to throw that out there as well.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate that. I mean, you gotta do due diligence and support. You know, the wife supports you. It's great that you have someone that's got your back. And you know what? It opened up the revenue for her to enjoy something you enjoy. And the more time that you do it together, it's, you know, you're able to bond. So that's a good thing, man. I'm glad that happened.
Yep.
You know, on my side, you know, she takes care of all the rats. I take care of the snakes, so it's a pretty even scale deal there. She does more work than I do, but you know, just it's great to have them behind us.
I wish I could get mine to handle the rats. But speaking of which, you guys all know DMJ, and he has the outfit with his kids. That's my guy Chino.
Yeah.
I used to always joke around because he would mention his wife, and I'm like, this guy's not even married. He's lying. You know, I called his wife Snuffleupagus. Remember Big Bird's imaginary friend?
Yep.
So I had to go drop off a snake to Chino. I did a nice little road trip with Samson. Nice little 3-hour road trip with Samson. He got to hang out with his boy Junior. That's his boy. These guys are on the phone and hooking up at shows. You know, he did some vending with Junior in New England, and then they met up last week in Pennsylvania. So it's pretty cool, like when the kids are connecting, and we could talk about that later too. But when I get to Chino's house, he opens up the door, and I'm like, whoa, wait, you really exist. So not only does his wife really exist, she's really involved. There were things that you know, Chino's cleaning tubs, and he's adding the new snake, and he's giving it a bath, whatever, for mites or whatever, just preventative measures, etc. And it's like she's moving without him saying anything. I was so impressed. Like literally, she's getting stuff. We had to do things, in the rat room, whatever, and they communicate without saying a word. Like literally, it was almost like a choreographed routine where she knew what he was doing and what had to be done, and he never had to ask for her to do something. Like literally, it was seamless. So I found that so amazing. And again, it just goes to show you, we're the attention whores, guys. That's what it comes down to. All right. The women in this hobby, in this industry, they don't need the attention. They don't want it. We're the ones.
Speak for yourself, Brian.
I'm speaking for myself.
I think you just call me a whore.
No, I said us, Mary. Us. We're the attention whores here. But
that's why
I do want to point out
instigator. That's why he's here.
I do want to point out that Mitch handles all the thermostats and all the mechanics of our collection. And if you can share a hobby with somebody that you love, it's amazing. This is the first hobby we have ever shared, and we each have our parts, what we take care of, and we both have a passion for it, and it's just awesome to share it.
That's awesome.
Well, I think we all share our snakes with our wives, right, guys?
Kyle, we haven't heard from you in a while, so you have a significant other that's helping you, or what? Are you flying solo?
Yeah, she helps a lot. A lot of stop spending money. Now she really does. She's part of the whole. She really helps with the cleaning of the rats. I got 40 tubs of rats that I breed, snakes and everything. She's pretty involved. She really is.
That's good.
When I first got into it, she was. I'm not touching the damn snake.
His phone is going in and out.
Oh no!
All right. All right, before we keep stick to one topic, because we can't be here all day. So second thing is, my question to you guys is there like tiers of breeders that's in the industry that will only work with each other and kind of filter out and can control, monopolize the industry? Do you guys think that, or is it just basically if you got money you can get into it, or people actually controlling it and basically seeing where the money goes or who's buying what and how much it's going to go for?
I think
you want to start problems.
I mean, no. I mean, even you see it with unpopular genes. People pick one up, and people aren't working with it very much. So then somebody will pick it up, start working with it, and then make something really dope. And now it's running for a really high price, man. And then that starts trending. Everybody wants that one gene. Everybody wants to start working with it.
Who controls it though? Is it just the market, or is it JKR? Is it SLEY? Is it who's controlling the how much it's gonna cost and where the industry is going? Good, Brian, man.
Guys, I talk fast, so you better speak up because I will hog the shit out of this microphone.
I don't know. I don't believe that. I think that like if that animal hasn't been produced, like I think it is the market, just the market alone that controls it. So you know what I mean? If somebody has a snake already made and it's already at this high price, it's going to be competing. So they're going to be around that price. If nobody's created that snake yet, you could put any price on it. To be honest, anybody could, right?
Yeah, so to speak.
JDI wants to chime in.
Unfortunately, JK, you cannot put your own price on it. Somebody has to put a price on it for you before you do anything. Like when I do with my Ajax, right?
Yes, Ajax.
Last year, when I was doing my raffle, I had a handful of people telling me that what I was doing was fucked up and I was charging too much. But I was told by breeders that bred this snake or were breeding the Ajax that if you sell it you got to go for this price, and then you have to add these prices on for how many genes are in it. And then I had all these people beating me down, telling me I was wrong with what I was doing. Right? So you can't just put a snake on a market and go, hey, I'm going to sell this for $500 just because I think it looks cool. It doesn't work that way. There's somebody up higher that has to say something or do something with that.
Another thing I heard was that like a snake.
Before you move on, respond to both of you. Can I just respond to both of you? First of all, I do have to disagree only because there are people that have been in this industry. Now, I'm not talking hobby. I'm talking industry. I'm talking they do this for a living. Okay, they are the ones that have opened this up to us that now have thousands of genes, and I always want us to remember them, because if you're following them and you're studying them, they are saving you years of time, okay? Based on what they have discovered with genetics, based on determining what's recessive, what's an incomplete dom, etc., etc. So to a certain degree, you can't deny the fact they do set the market value for snakes, okay? I've discussed it many times on my lives. JKR has this down to a science. His formula is extremely simple, but you are not going to break it, nor are you going to replicate it. He is too far ahead of the game, okay? What he does is he will start working on projects. He will, I call it resuscitate a dead gene. Well, it doesn't matter if it's lavender, if it's hypo, if it's champagne. These are just some of the few that he has resuscitated in the last year. Now, by the time he's a marketing genius. By the time he starts discussing it, I promise you his inventory is already there. Okay. So he starts discussing it. It gets the buzz. And what happens is everyone starts searching for that gene. If he says lavender, I remember when he mentioned lavender and I told somebody my phone is going to ring, people asking for lavender. My phone rang 3 times that day, people asking for lavender. And you guys know who you are, who called me. Okay. but my phone rang 3 times that day. The value of lavender and anyone working on lavender skyrocketed that day. But here's the caveat. He's going to set the price point for it. He has it. He's not making it. He's not going to go and work on it. They're coming off the eggs. They're coming out. Then he's going to sell it at his price point. And guess what happens? The trend has now begun, and everybody's rushing to get lavender. By the time you go and do that project, make that project, he's off onto the next one, guys. Okay? So you have to understand there are trends in this industry. And as far
I totally agree with that. That's true.
Didn't you just pick up Mario? Like, isn't that happening now with Mario? Are you seeing more about Mario?
Yeah, Mario, and just for the record, I say Mario. I'm from the Bronx. I don't say Mario.
I say Mario.
One thing that I heard also was that how the market sets the value is that you could have a price you think it's worth $3,000, but I mean the market only ends up being what somebody's willing to pay for that snake.
A snake is worth whatever somebody's willing to pay for it.
Exactly, right? So
a snake is worth whatever anyone's willing to pay for it. But here's the thing: you have people, and I discussed it, and it's been a very drama-filled week, and I really don't want to continue with the drama. But every week, and I've mentioned this on my lives as well, every week I'm contacted by someone that's selling their collection. Okay, every week. That's why I say don't even say you're a breeder till you've been doing this for at least three proven years of success. Because I give most people a 3-year window from when who said that they were going to be a millionaire? Was it you, River Exotic? Somebody mentioned being a millionaire because I even joke about that.
No, that was SLEY, Kyle.
Okay, yeah, where people think that they're going to go and buy 2 high-end snakes and they're going to become a millionaire. You might not even recoup the money for just that pairing for about 2 years. Okay, so people have very unrealistic ideologies about this hobby. This is something you have to have a passion for, and if you can make money off of it, great, terrific. But this is something that you have to have a passion for more so than think that you're going to live off of it, because it takes a while to become a. Justin didn't become Justin overnight. He's been here for 20 years. Okay. Billy did not become Billy overnight. All right. These guys have paid the dues, and that's why I said I'm all about showing them the utmost respect. I don't always agree with everything that they say or do, but they have paved the way for everyone else, and you can't deny that. Now, the problem with people that come in here and sell their collections, they devalue the hard work that has been put into some of these projects. Okay, so they may have gone and bought certain genes and they paid fair market value, but because they're in such a rush or so eager to get out of the industry and to save as much money while they're running out of the industry, they devalue that gene by selling it at bargain basement prices. And to me, you get these, all right? Because people worked really hard to set that value. Okay, that's like you sell cars, right, Owen? So it's like basically I'm some rich guy. I buy the car. I paid fair market value. Now I sell the car for half the price because I just don't want it no more. And it means nothing to me. But it's not fair for everyone else that had to pay fair market value for that snake. And now you're decreasing the value of those genes. It's just not right. It's grimy, and that's why you have to hold people accountable. I have a list of people that are on a 3-year time limit for me. I don't see them here in 3 years, guys. That's just the reality.
One question.
I hope I'm not on that list.
I hope not either. Don't get on it. It's bad because so far the people on the list have proven it true in less than a year. Okay.
Hey, I want to bring up Todd Sanders says, so if you're selling sunsets for 4K, that means I can't sell mine for 1K. How do you guys respond to that?
Ooh. Well, I think that's just what Samson was kind of talking about.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
You'll lose out on money. Why?
I think
you're devaluing.
Yeah,
I think the person should check what the value is when he goes to breed that animal. You know what I'm saying? He should check what the market value is instead of saying, I paid $4,000, I got 10, so I'm gonna sell them all at 1K. That doesn't work that way. You know what I'm saying? So they should definitely check the market value before they price their stuff.
Definitely. I go through more market, figure out what jeans I have, what can I sell it for, what is the bottom price, what is the high end price, where do I want to be. So I'm not gonna be that guy that's gonna try to sell my snake $200, $300 less just so I can make a sale. That's just basically me being that guy that nobody likes. So you don't want to do that.
Have integrity. Have integrity. Think about other people. Sal's got his hand up.
Yeah, I just want to say too, like what Owen was saying, like finding your position too, like someone who's starting off. First of all, I understand if you don't want to put your price the same as JKR, but that doesn't mean you have to go all the way to the bottom either. Like you don't have to undersell it, but that doesn't mean you have to do the same price as someone at that level. Obviously, they are at that level, and people pay that premium for someone who has that name. So it doesn't mean you have to go all the way to the bottom, but you don't also have to match up with someone like Ozzy or JKR or Billy or anything like that either.
Those are the name brands, those are the name brands,
exactly.
And they deserve to get a little more for a jean. But if you look, let's say at common jeans, it's never more than $100 for their name. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you get to the high end stuff, that's a different category. But if you're talking about a 2 jean codom, or excuse me, I hate saying codom, it's just easier than incomplete dominant. But if you're looking at like a 2 jean codom, you won't see them charging more than $100 than anyone else. And I think they've earned it. That's what they get for having their name and doing the work that makes our lives easier.
Exactly.
The biggest thing that I can say, guys, is the biggest thing that I learned is patience. Sit down it all. Honestly, you price it to what's fair, not too low, and be willing to sit on it. Could be a year. You could be rolling into your next season with prior season clutches, and guess what? It all sells. Knock on wood, to date, everything has been selling. It's not, in a month, 3 months, it could take a long time. Just sit, wait, and then, the right person will come along. You'll get that, email, and it'll go. Just patience. That's it. I think that's the biggest thing, and I'm all for that. So
the great thing think that people shouldn't invest money that they don't have. And that's where they run into problems. If you're buying, $5,000 worth of snakes and you're trying to make it back in a year, it doesn't work that way.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You got to have patience. You're gonna like Samson was saying, you're probably going into your 3rd, 4th year before you recoup it all.
If that,
if that, yeah.
No, that's definitely true. And also, you got to understand, we're in a world of technology now. Just because somebody's not buying right now, we got a whole state, the country to look at. Somebody from across the state is going to buy it. Somebody's going to buy that snake, regardless. I've seen things that clothes that look horrendous, and people buy them. The same exact thing. Somebody's going to buy it. It doesn't mean it's here, but this age and technology that we have, we can sell that snake anywhere. Somebody's going to buy it. You can sit on it. So that's not a problem, guys. Steele, did you have your hands up earlier?
Yeah, I was just going to throw out to Brian there. I mean, I agree with Brian. Like you could look at it from a hobbyist standpoint, like we do. We don't do this for the money in the slightest bit. We want to sell the animals to put back into our animals. So, I mean, what we make is what we want to make, right? It's what we want to have. If you're going to look at it from a business point, you have to look at it from a business standpoint. You're doing everything for money. But I mean, like new people like myself, and there's a lot of others that are coming up the ranks, just like me and my wife are. You have to really define where you're going to be on that point. Are you going to go business side of it, or are you going to be a hobbyist and just do it for the passion and just do it for yourself? And I think that's a big factor for a lot of people, especially the new people coming into it, like myself.
That's a great point. Let me ask you, do you think, like, how the new gene come out, like Stranger? Let's say the Stranger gene, okay? It's a new gene that came out. It probably was, I think it was produced 2012, 14, somewhere around there. Do you think people basically keep it amongst themselves as high-end breeders and wait till it produces and then sell it to everybody else?
100%.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you think like how they monopolize the market? So do they just basically, hey, I give to you here, I give you here, you here, breed it till we get to a certain extent, and then we can sell. And now we're on to the next thing because we're selling whatever we want, leftovers. Now they're making double recessives already. You know, they're already 6, 7, 8 years ahead of the people. You're not gonna catch up. So that's how the big breeders are controlling the market as much.
100%.
Yeah, unless we don't think they are, but they are.
They have their own network, obviously, and again, they've paid their dues for it, so I get it. You know, this is all right. So Jersey Balls, Lorenzo, I owe you a phone call. I did not forget, brother. But Jersey Balls made a point. If you're doing this like a business, treat it like a business. If you're doing it like a hobby, treat it like a hobby. They're doing this as a business, guys. And the only way that you're going to control it is by monopolizing certain things and capitalizing on those opportunities. And they're maximizing the opportunities that they have with the limited access to these genes. Now, at the same time, let's not forget, these guys are paying $50,000, $100,000 for starting up certain genes. So we're talking about recouping on small investments in a hobby that these guys are putting more into one gene than you're putting into your entire collection. Okay.
Right.
So it's a gamble. At the end of the day, they're gambling that they're going to make that money back. And we talk about making the money back in 3 years. That's so tough. You want to know why it's tough? Because in those 3 years, you've added, okay, the little bit of money you made, you went and you bought more jeans, and then you went and you bought more jeans. So your tab is going up over those 3 years. You're making the 3 years on your initial investment the first year, but now you still got your second year investments, your third year investments.
Yep.
So it gets really tough.
I don't think the vesting ever ends.
It seems as if it doesn't. And that's why you need other avenues. That's why you need T-shirts, you need stickers, you need YouTube and social media presence. You need, how many people, how long has Billy been doing this? He just quit his security job not too long ago. His security.
17 years? And he's been doing it for 17, 18 years now?
And he's 21. He's just going full time for about a year now. Okay. So just calculate that. Okay. This is somebody that has amazing social media presence, that has an amazing facility, that's made his own contributions to the industry. So just put that into perspective. And that's why I say this is something like it's kind of I was Godfather Exotics and the comparison came up yesterday. He did a live while he was cleaning. And Rain Exotics and Godfather, you know, they brought up the comparison to pretty much like high-end cars. You know, this is something you have to have a passion for. You may never recuperate it. And if you have mouths to feed, I highly want to dissuade you from getting into this hobby to try to feed them. Okay. This is something that maybe you could add. You know what my goal at the end of the day usually is? To be able to get my rats for free. That's my goal.
That's a good goal,
okay?
yeah.
Because every year I'm adding new genes. You know, I did a live with Mel from Morph Nation, and he asked me what's the greatest stuff. I have eggs on the ground. I have gravid snakes left and right. My most exciting thing I won't be able to talk about for 5 years. Okay, the most exciting thing I have going on right now is 5 years away, guys. Okay, that hopefully I can have a Samson gene out there. You know, but that's my most exciting thing right now. So it's a crapshoot, but Owen, I agree 100%. They control it. You guys have to have your own network that you can work with people, so that way you're not breaking the bank on getting genes that you need, and that way you're adding things to your collection that you may need down the future. You know, one hand washes the other. You scratch my back, and I'm gonna keep letting you scratch because I love getting my back scratched, guys. But that's what it comes down to. Like look at the presence that you and JDI have, right? You're grinding. You're grinding every week, right? Your following has increased. Okay, so now at least you know you have a network. I don't care about followers, guys. I stopped the whole, following thing at 1,000. Once I hit 1,000, I was satisfied with my son. He did his grind. He got to 1,000. After that, and I even joked around with AJ Exotics. I was like, so what's next? 2,000, 3,000, 4? None of that matters because I'm more about quality over quantity. And for example, if I do a raffle, my raffle doesn't go 2 days without filling out. Most of the time, my raffles don't even go public. I share it within a VIP community network.
How do we get in on that, by the way? How do we get in on that network, by the way?
So here's the funny part.
Asking for a friend.
This is the funny part. Who asked about that? Jay's Reptiles had asked about it one time, and I was like, "Well, in order to get in, you have to be a part of it. you have to buy a spot to get in, but it's hard now because they sell out so fast." But all jokes aside, yeah, 100%, man. And if anyone disagrees, please share. But I think that they do control it, and the only way that you're going to be able to have any control over what you do is by doing exactly what you see Owen and JR doing and others doing, where you're creating your own network. There are thousands of people out there, guys. Okay, create your own network, your own following. You have to, you're gonna get what you put out. Okay. Someone asked me about the Sunset Project and getting into it, and I asked them literally, "Do you have a network that people are willing to drop $2,000 to $4,000 a snake off of you? Who are you for me to give you that type of money?" Okay, so you have to be realistic also about what your goals are. Okay, so those are just some of the things that we have to think about. What are your thoughts, guys?
Definitely.
This is what I also have to add to that is if you're going to put a price on a snake, you have to stand by it. You have to prove for the fact that it's worth $1,200, $500, $700, whatever it may be. If you can't prove that, you can't sell it for that. Or you can try as much as you can, but you have to be able to back your animal that you're putting up there on Morph Market or Instagram or YouTube or whatever you're doing. So if you can't explain how the thing works and what it does, or even just to a little bit, right, it's not going to be worth the money that you think it's worth. So that's the other thing that you have to do too. Anybody could put a gene out there and say it's whatever gene, right? But if you can't stand behind it, what's the point of you trying to put out that gene?
Yeah. Well, this other topic comes with kind of tied into this too as well. Like breeders being hush hush and not really telling you what's going on. So basically what I'm saying is, like, when people are breeding, there is an end goal to it. So in my opinion, if they're breeding and they tell you what they're breeding, what the combinations are, you're basically going to breed the same thing. You're gonna jump into it right away. So I feel like, obviously JKR and the big guys, they do all these breeding and they show you the end results, but they don't tell you anything yet. Because why? Because if they tell you what they're doing and you go and do it, you basically taking them, out of that, momentum that they have. So when they sell, now you got to buy the ingredients for it. Because if you already have the ingredients, you can do it yourself. They're not going to do that. They're not going to play that game. JKR went to school for marketing. Mm-hmm. He graduated as marketing. He knows what he's doing. Mm-hmm. So, it's up to us to, basically.
Let me tell you, Owen, he's so badass though. Let me tell you, because I laugh because he's just badass, man. Okay. He's so badass. He does put up his pairings on his website. So you can go see.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like I dare you to even try to do what I'm doing. Okay. He's really good at what he does, except for stand-up comedy. But other than that, he is really, really good at what he does, man.
Hey Joe, why are you sideways, buddy?
I was like, what's going on?
He's got a picture of him sideways. Yeah, so that's the other aspect of it. Have you dealt with any, as a beginner when you were starting out, have you dealt with any breeders that were just like, let me tell you everything about it? Or have you ever dealt with people just kind of like, go kick rocks, I'm not going to tell you anything? Are they the same now?
You got to use my words? You got to steal my words, bro.
Well, kick rocks? That guy right here? That guy?
Kick rocks.
That guy right there?
Yeah, I could tell you some people, but I'm not going to tell you who they are. I'm not that type of person.
Tell me your experiences. What I mean, I've heard it multiple times, but
when I got into Ajax, you know, when I first got that pastel GHI Ajax mail that I contacted as many people as I could from the US to the UK to Africa to give me insight on this gene. And almost everybody basically told me to kick rocks. And you know, if you buy something, I'll tell you all about what it does. I've already bought something, right? I got it sitting in my rack. I need some help with it. How do I explain it? And if it wasn't for JSA and a few other people that helped me out with this gene, I would have known nothing about it, you know. But now I'm working with it, and I've got it in a few things, a lot of things, right? And I now have the following that people want it, right? Or at least want to see what it does. But if I didn't have the YouTube part of it, or not the YouTube, the Instagram part of it, who's JDI Pythons, you know? But yeah, it took a long time. It took 1.5 years to find anything about this gene, at least more than what they told me. And my exact word, what most of them told me was it enhances and it gives a white outline. That's all I got. Now, how are you supposed to breed snakes with something like that? Because you go look at a pastel, you can see what it does across multiple different snakes. So, you know, I got a lot of kick rocks for sure, for damn sure. But it took a guy in UK to tell me where the guy got it from.
Kick rocks with chancletas on, bro.
What's that?
Kick rocks with chancletas on.
Right.
Anybody else? Any experience?
Man, the chancletas, man. This dude, man, that's an old school word, man.
Chancletas, baby. Chanclet. You can't be Latino and not know what a chancletas because you got smacked with it once or twice in your life.
Man, they boomerang that shit. Sandals, flip-flops.
Speaking missiles. Tell them, Poppy. Tell them about chancletas. Come here.
So, yeah, man.
Tell them what you're looking for.
My chancleta.
There's breeders that I remember when we first started the sticker collection for Samson. And I remember reaching out to some breeders. Now I understand there's overhead and you have to pay for your stickers, so sell them at a price point. But I know a lot of breeders that unless you drop $2,000 on a snake, they won't even give you a sticker. So that to me it was like, wow, I really don't. I'll get your snakes without giving you the money. That was my attitude.
Hey Brian, I paid $1,500 and didn't get a feeding card.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, so there's breeders like that, and my whole thing is, look, guys, it's really hard outside of the snake world. I've done a lot of things, and I'm an accomplished person, so it's really hard for me to get impressed and to be in awe. One of the few people that do it for me, I'll be very, very honest with you, is Brian Gundy, and that is because he is just such a wealth of knowledge and one of the most humble people I've ever met through the years in any industry, besides the fact that he hypnotizes me with his voice and sounds like Bob Ross. But besides that, I mean,
I used to listen to his videos to fall asleep.
You can,
That's not
man.
something you should brag about.
No, but look, you could definitely do it.
He's got that soothing voice.
But listen, charge me $5 for a pack of stickers.
And
or
he is going to be on an episode of Breeders of the Round Table.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome though.
And that goatee, man.
He's the man.
White goatee.
Yeah, he's the man. But that's my whole point. My whole point is that when you have an operation that you're making 6-7 figures a year off that operation, and you can't even sell a sticker for $3, that you expect somebody to give you $2,000 for a sticker, you could go kick rocks with chancletas on, brother.
Now, what do you guys think about the hobby itself from when you started? You think it's glamorous as you thought it would be, or?
Me personally, I'm coming from when I used to call up places all over the country and have a priceless mail to me. So I never seen it this way, but I mean, the whole internet has taken it to a whole other level. You know what I'm saying? And it has expanded this tremendously.
Instagram does that, man. Yeah, it goes hand in hand with the internet. But you go to Morph Market and you're gonna see a whole set of snakes, and you go to Instagram, you're gonna see a whole different set that's not even on there. You know what I mean? That will never make it to Morph Market. It's just they're just working strictly through Instagram. And sometimes, man, you're gonna meet some awesome breeders, and vice versa. You know what I mean? You're gonna meet some awesome people that are on Morph Market that are not on Instagram.
Yeah, I've been wanting to start in Morph Market, but you know, the snakes I want to sell is already sold. Like, I don't need to put it on Morph Market, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, if this is working this way, why you know, do it?
Somebody asked us for our Morph Market. We moved 140 snakes last year. I didn't need Morph Market.
Yeah.
Like, why am I going to go to Morph Market? If it's not broke, don't fix it. And that's why I say that's the value of having your own network. Okay, and working your own network. It's quality over quantity, guys. If you have people that are supporting you, support them back. That's all I say. Before you go and invest your money in someone that doesn't give two craps about who you are, what you're doing, what's your passion, what are your goals, what's your drive, go put your money into the people that are taking care of you. Put your money into the people that do pick up the phone when you call. Put your money into the people that are supporting you. You know, that's another thing that we do. We sometimes get caught up in all the hoopla. Somebody has 10,000 followers and you think they're an authority. No, that doesn't make him an authority. It makes him somebody that did a lot of clicking, hoping to get followers in return. 20% rule. Okay. So my thing is, you know who are the people that are supporting you. You know who's there, who picks up the phone when you call and who doesn't. Okay. You know who's there just for your dollar bill. As soon as you give them that dollar bill, that phone doesn't ring until their next clutch of eggs is out there again. So support those that are supporting you guys. And you got a lot of people right here, right in this little Brady Bunch, little squares right here of people that have their actions are louder than their words. Okay. All right. Their actions has been speaking louder than their words. So that's what I like. I like to see that your actions are so loud I can't even hear what you're saying.
But let me tell you something, Brian. I like to stick. Having a circle is safe. It's always safe because there's so many people that are just trying to rob you out there, man. And I haven't fallen victim of it yet, and I hope to never have. But I've almost. You know what I mean? I jumped out of this circle and reached out. Let me reach out to this one guy, whatever. And it was just really fishy. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that fall into this, into that scam, But that's why, like you say, it's important to have a circle. And that circle, it eliminates that risk of being scammed out. You know what I mean? Go for it, Sal.
What's up, Sal? You're just waving?
My daughter's watching me with my wife, so she said hi in the comments, so I was waving to her.
I want to raise a point, I guess. I guess it kind of goes into your next question, Owen. I guess about I think you were gonna say something about Canadians and the American market and stuff like that. And I was just wondering, like, how the other Canadians here felt like. Does Instagram affect us the same way it does those guys, like all the other guys in America?
Yeah. Well, first of all, Joe, I'm the host, so I get to ask.
Skip all the topics, man.
No, because you see how they kind of like go together, though.
So definitely, I'm going to piggyback on Joe since he's ahead. So the market between Canadian and U.S. I know you guys are up there. Certain things you guys have, certain things you guys don't have. Compared to us, what is it that you guys, what's different?
I'm not even. I talk to Joe a lot, and we talk about this, our market and the Canadian market, and I've gone on there just to make comparisons at times, just to BS, right? And I've seen like just a single gene leopard, a juvenile here, you find it for $100, but over there, once you do the conversion, it's about $158, $160, give or take, So I don't see why should it be? I mean, it's just a border, and that border is adding price, is making it more expensive in Canada and the U.S.
It's also the lack of animals, to be honest. Like you look up an albino on Morph Market, there's 2,500 of them for sale on Morph Market, but only 86 here in Canada.
Yep.
And you guys aren't having any shows, so I think that's also limiting access to the reptiles, so that can increase the value as well.
I think another thing though too that a lot of people don't realize is that across Canada, we don't have the ability to actually possess these animals. Like you guys are going through all these ban issues right now. Those ban issues are actually our issues currently. Where we are currently, we're not allowed them. Right? So, I mean, in Canada, we have thousands of breeders, but everybody is so hush about it, and they sell only to those who they know. Right? It's not we don't go out and advertise as much and tell people what we have because we're in fear that we're going to lose every single animal that we have if somebody was to find out what's going on, right? And that's why that's why you don't hear so much about Canada. But Canada's got some big breeders. I mean, look at look at all the breeders we got.
Billy,
Corey Woods.
We're in the same boat.
I've got five really good breeders in my area within walking distance of my house right now.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
So
I mean, Jason's been in the game officially for over a decade. Canadian Reptile Adventures. You have MV up there. You guys have a lot of
Jane.
Canadian
There's a lot of quality animals. Just for the record, I am moving pretty soon, about 45 minutes away from Canada. So
don't let them in,
dude.
I'll be crossing the border once in a while. And I need your tips on how to smuggle the stuff back.
He's got all the tips.
Let's talk about that.
You're the wrong nationality there, Brian.
You're crossing the wrong border there, Brian. So that's the thing that we're talking about now. The availability. Are there genes up there that you guys, or down here that you guys can't get up there? Or vice versa.
It depends on the import and stuff. If people are willing to import and stuff,
we could get them, but we would have to import them from you guys.
I feel like a lot of the top tier guys up here. I think they have them, but the problem is that you guys have quite a few more top tier who've had those genes for a lot longer now. So I think it's more spread out with you guys, whereas here there's only a select few that have them, and like all of us do, they're hoarding a lot of that stuff back. So a lot of them aren't getting released, and when they do, they're going to other top tier breeders around here because they're the ones who are able to pull the trigger that much quicker, right?
Right.
Quick question.
Right?
Taxes. So this topic came up a few weeks ago. You guys pay taxes on the animals, and it's a high tax up there in Canada.
Well, again, it goes back to whether you're actually allowed to have your animal or not, right? I don't pay a single thing in taxes on my animals because I'm not allowed to have them, so I don't claim nothing, right? But I mean, when you look at somebody like Billy who lives in Toronto or Etobicoke who's allowed to have them, that'd be a different ballgame, right? So, I mean, it is night and day between the United States as Canada because, what we can and can't do out here, like, it's a big difference.
Do you guys have something like a U.S. ARC up there? Or is that something that maybe you guys can start working on?
That is something that my wife and I have been talking about. We've actually, when I do my lives with Isaac every Saturday night, we talk about that. We try to figure out how we can do that. Maybe how we can get the U.S. ARC into Canada and help Canadian reptiles. I mean, they would right off the bat, they'd be behind the 8 ball, right? They're going to have to try to overturn a lot of these small municipal laws that we have that
it's a lot.
Animals,
it's a lot too, man. Like I was told by somebody where I'm from recently, they said, hey, look, if you want to change bylaws, like you better have like $100,000 to back you up, you know what I mean, to start doing that. So I mean, like it's definitely
that's where the nonprofits come in to help, when you support these nonprofits, this is what they're doing all day, every day, is just fighting to try to prevent these bans. Where we are right now, we everybody's talking about bans. We're not even allowed to have ball pythons. where we're currently at. So that's very unfortunate reality. So that's why it's really important. And guys, if you aren't supporting USARK, I am going to put it out there. Please, whatever you can do to support USARK, let's do it. I'm going to be doing 2 bronze membership giveaways this week. Samson and I both have our own individual memberships. Even if you donate $5, I tell people skip a lunch or pack a lunch instead of buying lunch for a day. Skip a cup of Starbucks or what do you got? Dunkin' Donuts or up there Tim Hortons. I'm on my Canadian shit today, man.
Yeah, you got it, man.
You know?
Doing good.
You know? But you know, skip a cup and make that donation, and maybe that's what you guys need to look into is somebody starting that. It seems like you guys have more need for a nonprofit fighting the good fight than anything right now. And the borders cross, guys. It crosses because if it's happening up there, you already see we're fighting it like crazy over here. Then they already have certain bans over in Europe. Trust me, these borders do not stop these bans from happening. Okay, so we do have to have a united front with it, even if it's international.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It affects the whole hobby.
Yep,
it does.
Yeah, that's you know.
I noticed. I saw on Billy's story today that he joined USARK.
Yeah,
you know, everybody in the world can join USARK. Yep. The fight 100%. Is happening right here, right now. And
Billy buys over $100,000 of reptiles, of ball pythons from the States a year. Same in Europe. So that just goes to show you how it does affect everyone, and it is an international issue. Okay,
absolutely.
So I appreciate everyone here that's doing it, but even more so, when we first started talking about it, even with our small network and following, we had people from Europe that were calling to make noise. Mary put out the address for people that were non-South Carolina residents and the email address that people could use as non-residents to contact and make noise. Guys, you have to make noise. Trust me. The internet, that's one of the good things of the internet and social media today is the ability to spread the word and to get support. And honestly, if you can't support with $1, times are rough for a lot of people. I understand it. You could support with sending emails. You could support with making phone calls, sending faxes, just spreading the word.
Yeah,
okay,
spreading
the word out there.
No,
and I'm not going to call anybody an idiot. Okay, I'm not going to call any of you an idiot today. All right.
All right. Benny, can you mute Bryan?
Yeah, man. Hey, what's in your cup, Bryan?
I think this is the Bryan show. I don't even know what happened, man.
You guys want Bryan and his chancletas in Canada?
Bryan of the round table here.
Anyway,
Bryan's a preacher.
We're gonna hop into another topic that came up recently. We don't want to pull any names and stuff like that. So with FedEx. Now, there's 2 different views that I see with FedEx, okay? There's an issue with their policies that we can kind of, you know, if there was a way of us getting to our live animals that we can take before it gets, you know, sit there for several days versus them pulling the trigger and saying, hey, we don't care about you guys anymore. I'm to the point where they're to the point where they're sick of it and say, I don't want to ship any of your stuff anymore. What do we do? There's almost a double-edged sword here we're playing with. Let me know what you guys think.
I mean, I see how people want to help on online on Instagram, right? But when people, I understand the love for the animal and trying to go get it and whatnot, but when they're attacking FedEx, it affects the whole community. You know what I mean? In the long run, I mean, FedEx can pull out any day.
Yeah.
The more complaints they get, it takes nothing for them to say, you know what, we're done. And now what?
But coming from somebody who works in a pet store, in a big box pet store, I watch FedEx daily bring shit in, and it's inappropriate in how they do it.
Yeah.
Right? I watch them every day bring boxes of reptiles, hamsters, whatever needs to come in the mail. I watch it. Yeah. I watch how they bring them in, and there's, you know, it says up this way, but they're fucking like this.
Or
right?
they're
I watch them
spinning them
every day.
around.
So stuff needs to be said, but it needs to be said. It needs to be done right, not just blasting everybody on Facebook and whatnot. You know, it needs to be done at the right level with the right amount of people. Just like what US Arc is doing for us, right? As breeders, we need to do the same thing. We all need to come together and say, "Hey, FedEx, you need to make sure your drivers, male and female, can read what a fucking up arrow is." Right? Because if they can't read that, they shouldn't drive a fucking truck.
So
Yeah,
today I saw a story talking about some snakes that were stuck, and we're going to be stuck till Monday, and we're going to die if FedEx didn't let them come pick them up. And FedEx told this person, "We're not going to let you pick them up. It's our policy." So these snakes were going to die. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, now they were able to pick them up. And it could have been social media. I'm just saying.
There was a point where I know who you're talking about. One of the head honcho contacted him, or he contacted the head honcho, and he got through. The whole point is to people, there's nothing that you can't do. If you go somewhere and ask them for a discount, people, even though it says no discount, you can still get a discount. There's a way of getting around things. So the issue is that how we approach it. Do you guys want to come in, jump down their throat and say, "Hey, you need to do this. You need to do this, do this, do this," or say, "Hey, you know what? Can we figure out what we can do to better the system so that if something happens, we have the right to go pick it up because it is livestock." So that's where
that's the key.
That's where the gray area is. That's where we need to establish.
Can I just say something? I have no stock in FedEx, okay? But here's the reality: we all have the access to the policy, and I know for a fact I wouldn't ship and take the risk at this time, okay? No. And there are many breeders out there that will sell you an animal with no increased charge, okay? And they say it clearly. You will not get this animal until the spring because they will not roll the dice during winter that this will happen. So there has to be some sort of ownership and responsibility attributed to the people shipping during winter. Yes, you can ship an animal down to 30 or 40 degrees with the appropriate heat pack, etc. And there are heat packs that last 48 hours. But guess what? Things happen. And right now, we're in unforeseen time, guys. We're still in the middle of a pandemic, okay? So you have increased shopping at home. You have more mail going out than ever, and you have the least amount of employees ever to handle an influx of a huge increase in shipping. So you have to look at the bigger picture. So I think what you're saying, Owen, is about being tactical. Let's look at the policy, okay? Let's see if we can change the policy. But I think that what we lose sight when you're running a multi-billion-dollar company is the logistics. Okay, I oversaw a federal government operation. To get a pen change from using this pen to this pen can take a congressional hearing. Okay, it's not always logistically sound to just say we're going to do this. And the reality is, my concern was burning them out, like you and Benny said, and they just tell us to go kick rocks. Because there is no alternative method. All of these reptile shipping this and reptile, not one of them ship. Those are logistic companies that follow FedEx on your shipment. That's all they do. They charge you to monitor your shipment through FedEx. You can't ship through the United States Postal Service. You can't ship through UPS. The only person that can logistically handle what FedEx is doing right now is Amazon. And there is no profit in this for Amazon to add this as a service, okay? Otherwise, trust me, they would have done it already. So we have to be tactical in
Wasn't
getting
that kind of one of the things with FedEx, though? Like, for them, it's not profitable, right?
It's an add-on. It's an add-on service. So if you're using FedEx already and you have an account with FedEx and you're shipping your reptiles with FedEx, then you're most likely going to ship your other stuff with FedEx as well. Just like the reason why people's Freedom Breeder sells anything from cocoa blocks to sifters. Those things are not going to break the bank or anything, but they're add-on products. So that's exactly what this is. There's a reason why there's no one else doing it. If this was a profitable market, they would have competition. They have no competition in shipping live animals overnight, guys. None. There's no one else that does it here in the United States.
There's only one, FedEx. If they're really competition, people would be opening up other revenues of figure out how we can do it, but there's none. So for us to play with fire, in a sense, I see us going the wrong way unless we strategize how to do it correctly. It's only going to hurt us if we do it wrong.
They have the monopoly in it, right? Nobody else is going to fucking come in and say, hey, I'm going to start delivering reptiles because of this, that, and the other reason, right? Nobody's going to do it because who can compete with FedEx?
Like, how many planes do you own? You know what I mean?
Right? That's why.
I had a conversation with someone the other day, and just to even consider this, you need $100 million just to consider starting an operation like this. Yeah. Just think about that. Okay, because what I deal with in New York City, you don't deal with in Anchorage, Alaska. Okay,
I bet that's not enough.
But if you think about it, right? So, like, I live in Minnesota, right? And I have a hub here in Minnesota. I have a really big hub for FedEx right in my town. But all my snakes leave my hub, go down to Tennessee, and come back up. So if I'm shipping to Wisconsin, I'm right next door to Wisconsin. Right? But it goes all the way down to Tennessee. So if they have that much money to waste, that much fuel,
it's a tough situation for us, guys. We just got to figure out to do it right. I know in the moment we're mad, we're upset. We got a lot of things on our mind. We want to say things, but
Kimmy wants to add $3.50 to starting the reptile shipping company.
I thought she said that she will personally drive everyone's reptiles to their destinations.
I like that.
There are ways to do it, but it's difficult.
Well, are we going to start a Go Kimmy fund?
But JI, but JI, let's go back to what you said earlier. If and I say it all the time, silence is acceptance. So if you're witnessing these deliveries and the mishandling of them, then that's when the phone has to be picked up. That's when that driver
every time that driver, the two specific drivers that come to my store, has put a box on its side when it blatantly says this way up, right? Phone call. Guess what? This week, that driver didn't come in.
Yeah.
He's gone.
And where's your snakes? Or your reptiles? And then
I have a new driver coming. I have a new driver coming in that's setting the shit like it's supposed to.
That's where it starts. That's exactly where it starts.
But like I said before, we can't all just go, FedEx, this is wrong. FedEx, this is wrong. FedEx, this is wrong. We all need to come together and go, FedEx, this is wrong. Right? Mass numbers gets us heard. The one or two people that are going to say something, it's not going to get heard. And after me doing that at the store that I work at, all of the Petcos started to change. All of them were starting to get their stuff laid right out like they were supposed to, right? So, but it's in this story, right? Because Petco pays them a lot of money to come pick up these packages, right? We don't have all that money as a big box chain, but we need to act like a big box chain. And not just be individual about it.
Yeah. As Brian was saying earlier, it's part of that is our responsibility as breeders to make sure that you guys don't ship it out a certain time of the year. And I tell my customers when I sell a snake, I go, especially this time of year, I don't ship out between the end of November and the end of February, sometime in mid-March. I don't ship those snakes out between those months. If you don't want it, then I'm sorry, then I move on. But the reason why I care about my snakes and obviously where it's going to be going to, I'm not willing to take that risk. So if the consumer is okay with that, this is the best time. If they want to be on a payment plan, this is the best time. Put yourself on a payment plan. You got 3 months, 4 months. Put yourself in, and then go on.
Yeah.
Move on.
I think that yes, part of the responsibility lies on us as well. What has helped me a lot too has been developing a relationship with the drivers that come in, because I usually have my packages delivered at work. So I develop a relationship with them and tell them, look, man, can you please not, when you place this in a truck or if you find it upside down, please put it with the arrows up. Please don't throw it around. Give me a call. I usually the FedEx driver that usually delivers to me. I have his phone number, you know what I'm saying? His cell phone number. He'll text me and say, hey, I got a package for you. I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So also developing that relationship with your driver as well. And letting them know that is a live, animal.
Even developing the relationship at the hub that you're going to is very, very important. Because you know what? Somebody told me, Jersey Balls told me the other day, Lorenzo, last week when I was talking to him, the people that work at FedEx call Jersey Balls when his snakes arrive. He doesn't sit there and look at his phone and wait for them like we all do, right? Yeah. He gets a phone call from the people that work at FedEx, say, hey, your stuff's here, come pick it up. So you also have to make a relationship with the people at your hubs that you're going to.
That's good. I mean, we should, definitely work together and figure out what we can do. Now, here's something that's funny to talk about in a sense. When you guys meet people, new people, whatnot, when they ask you, you breed snakes, and how much you pay for them, and all this stuff, what kind of reaction do you get? People look at you strange. Because I get a lot of people that look at me like.
I think shocked is a good word. It's shocking.
A lot of people look at you like, what?
What's wrong with you?
I got a funny story on this.
When I first bought my verse snake, I was shocked and shit myself that I spent $500 on a snake. The very first one I wanted sold 2 days later after I wanted it and went back to get it. I had no idea that they even sold that fast. I had no idea that they sold for that kind of money. So new people, people that weren't even in the business, they're just looking at you like, are you shitting me? You pay $300, $400, $500 for a snake? It blows their minds. It's actually kind of fun.
Somebody actually came to me, and we were doing a little thing with dogs and cats and whatnot. And I said, well, I breed snakes. And she goes, why do you do that? That's so dumb. I said, why do you keep 50 cats in your house?
Yeah, I've had this
for the record. I know some people won't want to hear this, but for the record, cats are more of an evasive species than any of the reptiles on any of these.
Absolutely, 100%.
It's also a nastier bite.
That's understandable, and I completely get that. You can't,
and they eat your eyeballs when you die. That's all I'm saying.
Any other experiences you guys have?
Yeah, at work they call me the crazy snake. My boss introduces me to every new person as the crazy snake lady.
It's all right. Nothing wrong with that.
No,
well, I mean, for me,
I wear it with pride.
So I have where I'm at. It's a very affluent area. I don't have the kind of money these guys do. So when I meet people
like
here,
you, River Exotics.
When I meet people here, they ask me questions, and I'm like, this is what I do on the side. They look at me like I have like 8 heads, and they're like, you do? Why? I'm just saying, people have that experience, and it gets to the point where I don't want to tell them anything anymore. I just want I be snake, and I move on. It's just almost feel uncomfortable at times when they're like looking at you like, that dude breeds snakes. Like that's just gross, or that's just bad.
Based on the fact that they call people that aren't the most nice people or the most straightforward people, snakes or rats, I tell them that I work with snakes and rats so I can know how to deal with people like you.
When I was sitting in court, the judge asked me why the hell snakes? And I said, "You're happy that I'm sober, right?"
Yeah.
You know, my judge looked at me like I was flipping nuts. He goes, "I probably would have got rid of your sentence completely if you would have said your family, but no, you chose to say snakes." Well, snakes help me keep me sober, and so do my family.
That's good. 100%. All right, guys, we're close. Now, this section right here, we like to introduce you guys to the hot seat. Hot seats. So this is where we ask you guys hot seat questions. All right. So a couple things we can talk about. I'll bring it up. Give me a second. So this is random stuff that we can ask you guys, and you guys can explain to us or tell us if you guys want to or not. So have you guys, any of you guys, lost a rat or snake and not tell your wife?
Did you say not tell your wife?
And not tell your wife. Or the significant other.
Since I haven't spoken all night, I'm going to share.
All right. Go ahead.
Finally.
Go ahead, Brian.
Finally, we get a word out for him, man.
So I had to, pure genetics, I was bringing him some ASF while picking up a pied, and this is months back. And we had about 10 ASF in a box. And I was at the location longer than I expected, so they chewed through the box. Now, I found 9 of them, and I really wanted to believe there was only 9, but I knew there was 10, okay? And I used my wife's car, and I did not tell my wife about it. So I was hoping that, and Samson was in on this, guilty by association. So I was hoping that it somehow got out, that somehow we opened the door, we didn't see it run out, it somehow got out. So a few days later, she's texting me and she's sending me pictures. This little bastard came out while she was driving. She didn't find it as funny as I did, but yeah, she pulled over. She wasn't gonna move the car. I was like, "Oh, it's in the trunk." She's showing me pictures. It's right there in the back seat. It was like a 90-gram ASF. She was far from happy. So that's the ASF story. And then I've told this story before. When I came home from college, I brought home a boa that I had at the time without telling my mother. It was one of the winter breaks or something. And right before going back to school, it got lost. It got out of it. I had it like in a little box or something. And it decided to surface 3 days after I was back at school. So I'm going back about 26, 27 years ago. And it came out the couch on my mother. So to say the least, she wasn't so happy, and I had to get my ass home in 3 hours to come pick it up. So those are my lost, but don't tell anybody you lost them stories.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel.
Well, I can say a story that I had. So buddy over here, Felix, bred carpets, and I was lucky enough to acquire 2 of them. And these things were like vicious little things. Anyways, I housed them in a rack that we built years ago. And one day, upon feeding, one of the bins were empty. So lo and behold, I didn't know what happened. I thought maybe, I don't know what I thought, but I was looking everywhere. I couldn't find this darn thing. And days went by, up to about a week. I was sitting watching TV with the wife, and our TV hangs up on the wall. And up on one of the cords, where the plug is, where all the plugs are in, the copper was coiled up on the plug. I'm going to say it probably has to do with the heat, the plug being warm, but here it was balled up. So I had to nonchalantly go up to it, grab it, pick it up, and bring it upstairs. And that thing turned into a wild snake that had the taste of the wild, and I could not tame that thing. That thing wanted out every time I opened the bin. It was nuts.
Yeah, I lost an anerythristic about 20 years ago, a Brooksy king snake. Those were the first king snakes I had ever bred, and I lost an adult male, and I found them like a week later inside the oven of a stove. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Holy.
So you got something there?
Holy.
No, I mean, I like with my most recent collection, the one I have now, knock on wood, nothing has escaped. I can't have live rats here in Alberta, unfortunately, which sucks. So all my feeders are all frozen. But in my last collection, I had 2 ball pythons escape, but my ex was like pretty supportive of it as well. So I told her like immediately, because we had a Chihuahua at the time, and it was a the first one was a big female ball python. So I was worried. I didn't think anything was gonna happen, but I told her like immediately, and I had it on like the second floor, and we ended up finding it in the basement of all places, like in the corner behind some boxes, which I thought was insane because it's like the coldest spot of the house. And I was looking at every hot spot. I was like, man, because everything I read online at that time, that was probably back in like 2011. They're like, check everywhere hot, check anything like under the fridge, yada yada. So we like checked everywhere. We just couldn't find it. I was like, man, there's no chance in the basement. That's 2 floors. He would have had to gone down the stairs. Sure enough, she was down the stairs in a corner, huge, like 3,000-gram ball python. But I haven't kept anything from the ex or my wife or anything like that.
Well, I was gonna say, well, thank God for the animals and stuff like that, because they just like to be in our snake room, because we've had like 3 escapees.
Cats always find them first, though. Like,
yeah, or wondering.
So as soon as I know the cat's in there, I'm like, what the heck's going on?
Yeah.
That's what I did, man. I had a rat escape, and in the garage. I know it was in the garage, so I threw my 2 cats in there and just let them pin it down, and I started moving things and finally caught it. But I was hoping that then they didn't run inside the house. I think that would have been the end of the rat game.
I heard a story of somebody who had a shed, kept all their snakes in a shed, and they left the shed door open, and the snake got out of the shed. I mean, that thing's gone now. You know what I mean? Into the forest, into the woods.
That's not coming
the street.
They ain't coming back. Anybody else got any?
Hey, any of the? I'm gonna talk to my people from Canada. Have any of you guys smuggled any snakes into the U.S.? or any of you guys from Canada?
Don't answer that. Don't answer that.
I know that border ain't not too bad compared to yours.
I don't know.
Looking for the FBI. Don't answer that.
There is a reward, and we know that Brian's got snakes that he shouldn't have. So
no,
Yeah.
I don't live where I say I live. How you like that one? But listen, I lost this guy 1 minute, literally not even 1 minute. Turned around to take a picture of another one. He was in the car with me, disappeared, went through hell, took the car apart. Our weather just dropped. So when you're talking about a miserable week, it was a miserable week. I took everything out the car. I took the seats out the car. Could not find him. Every hour on the hour, warming up the car overnight, putting in hot water buckets in the car for him, setting up little ASF traps in the car, and he would not come out. So when we went to for my second STW, we were in Jersey doing a live there with the first one's winner, giving him his snake, Balls for Life NJ, and he decided to come out. So now he will never go anywhere, and he will always be the story of the little bastard that put me through hell for 9 days, guys. 9 days of misery, this guy right here. His name is Naruto because he's a little ninja.
All right. What about the host? You got any hot seat question on these guys?
I've got a question. Okay, so ball python males have 2 hemipenes. This is a 2-part question. Male members of the hobby, are you envious? And what would you do with 2?
I think I'm more envious of the 24-hour locking and breeding than the 200 days.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I wish I could go
24 hours straight. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think we all have honeypeen envy.
Heard of double
We all have honeypeen envy, guys. Come on, admit it.
Oh my god,
that's awesome.
JDI,
what a shocker.
So guys, I haven't even put the just to end that story. I haven't even put the car seat back correctly. It rocks like this back and forth when you sit in the car. Jose had that experience. Grab Your Balls went with me to the show, so he had to sit in that rocking seat for about 2 hours last week.
All right, here's another one, guys. I know there's a bunch of bad boys in here. Have you guys ever been arrested? All right. All right.
I told the cops though, and I think because I did pretty good, they didn't arrest me. But that's why I don't drink anymore. Alcohol just didn't go well with me and the police, and it just didn't go well. So kudos to you, JDI. I got 15 years, brother. Kudos to you.
Hey, I'm on 14 years, 15 years too.
Yes. Congratulations.
I'll be 2 years in May.
Amen. It's
That's awesome, man.
Not easy. It's not easy. But I will confess, I do like kissing my wife after she drinks some cognac. I can't lie about that.
Let me ask you guys.
I only drink this. That's it.
Well, it's great. Passion fruit.
Passion,
Yo,
baby.
You're gonna get sponsored. Dog face, man.
All right,
you got sponsored with that cranberry.
One more from me. Actually, maybe two more from me. What is your biggest snake-related argument? It's got to be something you guys have.
Oh my!
And another one is have you bought a snake and not tell your wife and tell you that it was there the whole time? Those are the two questions.
I can answer your first one, Owen. As a couple, we argue. I mean, we're still new to it, and a year and a bit into it. We argued a lot about, are we feeding too big or are we feeding it too small? And
we do that a lot.
Yeah, that's where the husband-wife thing can kind of be a bit of a problem, right? But
that's funny, eh? How it's like that. But
yeah, it's her.
That's how I the same way, man. I'm like, they can eat tomorrow. It's okay. They're like, no.
They won't eat it. If it's too big, they just won't eat it. Like they're not. But
we got some big females, so I mean, so on one end, it's like, I mean, two of our females grew like probably a little more than 1,000 grams in a year, so that's a lot, I think.
Yeah.
Well, we got them and they're underweight anyway.
When Samson and I started with the ball pythons, obviously it was easy in the beginning to identify them. I had my boa, so that wasn't an issue. My boa at the time was already like 10 years old. She's a 9-footer, but obviously you can count when you have one ball python, but you know how fast it goes from 1 to 173. And in the beginning, when they were in different quarantine areas, we had a place that was just for them. So literally an entire unit was just, penny wise, dollar dumb, was a quarantine unit. So living room had 4 in it, bedroom had 4 or 5, another bedroom had 4 or 5, closet had 4, the bathroom had 4. I remember when we were up to about 11, that's when I realized, oh, I didn't think my wife was keeping count. So I was just like sneaking them in. So when it went from 11 to 17, my wife was like, so it was 11 last week and now you have 17. I'm like, oh shit, she's counting. Yeah, that didn't work out. And again, I was just so happy because my son at 6 years old was able to keep a secret. So that was pretty cool.
What about River? Felix, Chris, Sal? Any arguments? Don't be shy. You're in a hot seat, man. You're gonna tell
Hey, what about River Exotic? Do you guys argue a lot together, or?
No, actually, we don't.
Not too often.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had once in a blue moon. We'll have maybe a disagreement or whatever. You know, he has a lot more history, and but he also he'll give me advice. He won't be really firm with it, but he'll be give me some advice that I tend to follow, or but he's not forceful with it or anything like that. So. And that goes with our friendship. You know, we've been good friends for years, so
Yep.
I don't think you can have a better hobby partner or somebody that you're having a business with than a really good friend. So
Yeah, we get along very well. So, yep.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like a good married couple.
Barry, you're the boss. You're the boss, right, Barry?
It's legal now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. What's up, man?
We're better than it forever, man. You know?
Yeah, I know, right?
I ain't going over there. That's the next town. Sal, what's up? Tell me about your wife.
Yeah, no, we honestly rarely argue and I mean, she's supportive of me. Like I'm the one who's mostly taking care of the animals, and like if I want to buy something, it's my money I'm putting into it, so she's supportive of that. I haven't really because I'm just getting back into things. I haven't really purchased anything too crazy yet, anyway. So everything's within a budget, right? So at this point, there hasn't been any arguments over anything. I feel like I argue with myself a lot on whether I should buy something. Always going back and forth. But yeah, nothing between us. I mean, everything's pretty chill here. So in terms of the collection, anyway,
I was gonna say, Sal, you better be careful with that because she got that raffle spot for you, bro.
Yeah, I know, man. She's watching, so she's the greatest. I appreciate it, man. I love the support.
I do have one more. For me. What is your favorite Disney movie? Don't lie. Don't be trying all manly and tell me it's
Disney.
I don't know if it's Disney, but my favorite one is Lion King.
Right.
That's Disney.
Straight up, man.
Disney. Boom.
I gotta say Aladdin for me. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna
Top spot for Aladdin.
Star Wars.
That's not.
Technically,
Mandalorian, because that is technically Disney.
Yeah. Bryan has to
It's not or anyway Disney.
We own it all now.
The instigator.
What about you, Steele? Bryan,
It's only 5 minutes.
do people in Canada watch Disney movies?
Well, after hockey, maybe. Hockey first. We might watch Aladdin afterwards. I don't know.
You know what? I just watched Miracle the other day. The movie Miracle.
Miracle on Ice. Yeah.
That's a good one. Sal,
What movie has Nagini in it? Is that a Disney movie? Which movie has that in it? Because so many people.
It's a Fantastic Beasts.
Oh, because so many people
Harry
named
Potter.
it Gold Pythons.
I don't even know what Nagini.
It's from Harry Potter's the second version.
Harry Potter.
Fantastic Beasts. Nagini was the chick that turned into a. Okay, so Voldemort Snake in the last few episodes of the movie, right? Now they go back and explain to who she was. She was like Huan's nationality, and then she turned into a big snake.
She was Huan.
We know what you were doing when you were drinking.
Yeah.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm 38 years old and I fucking love Harry Potter. So if
Oh,
y'all
me
got a
too,
problem
man.
with that,
No
I
way.
don't give a shit.
I haven't seen any of them.
I saw them all with my daughter, but I used to always fall asleep in the movies. So.
Oh man.
Oh, sounds like my dad.
Sal, do you
What
say
about
a movie?
Yeah,
Did
mine.
you say a movie you like?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think it's Disney, but The Adventures Down Under.
Oh yeah. That's
the
an
one
old,
with,
old man.
Yeah. The one
Yeah,
with
Those mice, those like
Yeah.
with the Pelican or something.
Yeah. I think it was
Yeah,
John Candy. But
yeah.
there was that
Tailspin.
character, that little lizard.
Yeah.
Remember that little lizard in that shit? Man, I swear that got me on Reptiles early on, like when I was a kid.
Yeah. My favorite movie, I gotta tell you guys, is
Frozen.
No, not Frozen. It's Five Goes West. Oh, he's going to come to America. It's the one to him coming to America. That's like me, my life, dude. Coming to America. That's why I like it.
The Eddie Murphy movie.
Wait, that's Eddie Murphy, bro. What are you talking about?
No. The final.
You're coming on the second one.
The first one. American Tail.
Coming to America Part 2 with his baby mama problem.
Movie.
Oh, we're talking about that.
American Tails movie with the mouse.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's my all-time classic.
Guys,
Is that a
Jose
Disney movie? I think that's.
I gotta agree with
I
you.
think that's Warner Brothers too.
Jose is listing a whole bunch of movies that are not Disney. Grab your balls. He's listing a whole bunch of shit that has nothing to do with Disney.
My favorite is in between like Beauty and the Beast and the Jungle Book. Used to watch that all the
Jungle Book
time.
is a story about me.
I like that old '90s Jungle Book that came out.
Oh, the new one.
No, not the new one. The old one.
Modern just hit it. Fern Gully. I was thinking of the name. I couldn't
Fern Gully.
get it.
Oh, yeah,
Fern
that
Gully.
was a sick
That
movie.
was my favorite.
Yeah,
Fox and the Hound is good. That's a good one.
that's a good one. This is cute.
Jungle Book
Cinderella.
from the 90s.
Cinderella's got. It's just,
Which is
when
the
I was growing up, that was everyone's favorite. You meet
Wow.
your Prince Charming, and life is good.
so wait, this is still hot seat because Disney has all of that subliminal messaging.
Question.
Yeah.
Like the big penis. You guys see the big golden penis on Little Mermaid's cover?
Yeah.
What?
I've heard of it.
What?
Never seen it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It was on the castle part, right?
Big, huge, phallic-y golden rod, and it's not a hemipene.
I thought you had that back wall.
It's
As
on the
opposed to,
Disney logo on the fireworks.
They changed it, and there's videos. Go on YouTube, guys. There's videos that they slow down a lot of the movies and show you all of the nice. You got to think about these people that are into animation. They're a little off center, and they do a lot of funky stuff that you're not seeing it, but subconsciously it's registering. So if you wonder why after Little Mermaid you were cuddling with your wife, there you go.
Yeah.
Mary, you said you have a question or no? You have a hot-
Yes. Pet peeve. The first part is people who do not handle snakes, do not keep snakes. What is your pet peeve for those people? And pet peeve for people in the industry on Instagram, let's say social media.
I'd say ignorance for both. Right? They don't know. The lack of education and people who don't know about snakes they just become ignorant about it.
I was
Right?
just saying the same
On
thing.
Instagram, on Instagram, it could be maybe just cocky people. They're way too cocky for what they're, trying to help out people. But I think, yeah.
I agree. Yesterday we had another rant. I think there was good intentions, but to call an entire community of thousands of people that felt that a comment was definitely done distastefully, but to call an entire community a bunch of idiots for wasting time on that, I thought that was really distasteful and ignorance at its best. I don't think that it's realized that the interview with the idiot that made the comment with Billy and BRYAN, actually just that interview alone raised $2,000 for US ARC, and MJ has committed to putting all chat money raised moving forward to US ARC, and that's thousands of dollars off of one interview alone that went to US ARC. So to say that it was a waste of time, there was probably more money raised off of the quote unquote drama than any other effort towards U.S. ARC. So there was some good to come out of addressing the ignorance and the ignorant comments made towards Texas and what Texas was going through. So my thing is, again, I believe that, you know, it's been a very, very high, tense, dramatic week on Instagram. I got off of Facebook groups because of the drama. This week has reminded me more of Facebook than ever before. A lot of self-righteous bullshit going on. You have people trying to capitalize off of this. My whole point is, whatever you can do something, okay? Doing nothing is not acceptable right now. Whatever you can do to help, do it. Whether it's financial, whether it's spreading awareness, whether it's just praying, okay? Whatever you can do something for our people. This is a big community, as just this chat alone shows. It's an international community. Let's just continue to put the good vibes on. But don't call me a fucking idiot. I'm far from an idiot. I promise you that. Okay, I'm far from an idiot. But I just want to say kudos to everybody that is doing whatever they can possibly do to continue to push forward the awareness that's needed and to continue to unify the community, so that way we are here for one another.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
Absolutely.
I think it's the inability to understand why we do what we do is a big one for people that don't breed snakes or don't keep reptiles or anything across the board of that nature. You know, if it's not a dog or a cat, why the fuck do we have it in our house? You know, type thing. I think that inability, and I think it's funny how people will have hamsters and get bit all the time, but they can't have a rat or a mouse, right? So it's that little bit of an understanding that, you know, hey, my daughter's got a rat downstairs in the basement. That thing will walk up her hand like no tomorrow, right? You know, so I think it's the inability to understand why we do what we do.
Yeah, pet peeve, venomous, poisonous. Just a little one for people that
was going to be mine.
Don't understand the difference.
Yeah.
I don't play around with venomous snake stuff. I'm good.
I love venomous snakes, but I'm probably not gonna hold one.
Yeah, I like it from a distance.
It's actually a bucket list for me. I want to handle. Just one time.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm with you, Joe. I'll watch Mary handle it. I'm with you.
I wanna hold one venomous animal, and the only one in the world that I want to hold is a gaboon viper. That's it.
I wouldn't mind holding a dead one, but I'm not gonna hold it.
Oh, I want to be alive.
Yeah.
I want it to be
Some
alive.
of my some of the reptile facilities.
But I'm not gonna hold a venomous snake.
Well, you don't like the 2 centimeter fangs or 2 centimeter fangs?
I don't think I'll hold one, but I will touch one's tail.
That's more than I'll do.
That's something.
At least it's something,
someone get
they're standard. They're just you know, how they look, how they camouflage so well, and they're just natural. Is amazing to me.
Guys, if you get a chance, I follow. I got a buddy out of India. His name is Sumaya, and this guy rescues venomous snakes. Like, he puts his number out there. Don't kill the snake. Call me, and he goes, picks them up from these villages, and relocates it. You got to go check him out. Like, it's amazing.
I think I might have seen him on YouTube.
Yeah, he has a YouTube channel.
I want to follow.
Okay.
But what he does is absolutely amazing. And like I said, I'm here in New York, and I'll keep watching from New York while he does it in India. But I'm not playing with these snakes. But he does it almost effortlessly. It's absolutely amazing, and he just returns them to their natural habitat. So he's actually helping the ecology. You know,
we've seen him.
Yeah.
Okay,
I had a friend years ago.
Go ahead, Kurt.
You got to answer the second part. You've got to tell me your pet peeve for Instagram, for social media. Pet peeve, what you don't want to see in people's stories and what you don't want to see in their pages, on their pages.
Hold on, let Felix finish something. Second.
No, I was gonna say that years ago I seen someone get bit by a monocle cobra who was actually supposed to be a venomoid. He actually ended up getting a dry bite from it because the person that he sold it to next milked it and it actually had venom, so he lucked out. He really lucked out.
Apparently, venom can actually grow back if they've been devenomed.
Well, the glands, I guess they can grow the glands again. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Mary, your question again about Instagram pet peeves.
Social media pet peeves, whether it's stories or on people's pages, what drives you nuts to see? What are your pet peeves?
Unnecessary negativity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it for me too. I guess.
People's stories
As a
saying they don't
whole.
want to see this, they don't want to see that, or talking about one person talking about another on just on stories. They're not even doing it on posts. It's just you're flipping by the stories and people are just talking about each other, throwing rocks. You know what I mean? There's no need
But
for
Benny,
that.
you hit the nail on the head. I don't want to hear your rules, man. If you don't like what I'm doing, unfollow me. You know, don't tell me if you do this, I'm gonna unfollow you. If you do that, I'm gonna unfollow. Just unfollow me, damn it! I don't want to spend time on that.
That's all it is, bro. I mean,
if you don't want to see my OnlyFans page, you go to my OnlyFans page.
That's good. That's good. We gotta wrap it up soon, but we got one thing that we gotta do before we wrap it up. And that one thing is basically, who would you pick as your mentor?
We're gonna go one by one.
One by one. We got 5 mentors to choose from. We got JKR, Ozzy, you got Kevin McCurley, we got Billy, and we got what's the other one?
Brian Barczyk.
Brian Barczyk.
Billy.
So you have 5 to choose from. You can only pick one.
Not your turn.
Hands down.
It's not your turn.
Kevin McCurley, I would say for me.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Who and why?
That's why Joe's throwing his hair out.
So with this, what we're gonna be doing,
It's so hard to pick, to be honest, man.
We're gonna make
But
a
at the end
bar
of the
graph,
day,
right?
I'd
We're gonna
probably
keep
say
track
Kevin
of
McCurley.
who's winning
I thought he was
for a
going to
whole
go
year.
with Barczyk, to tell you the truth.
Hey, Benny, tell him again. Benny?
We're going to with everyone's answers. What we're gonna be doing, I'm gonna be inputting them into a bar graph, and we're just gonna keep track of the numbers, just to see a statistical for a whole year, a statistical analysis of what people who would they prefer as a mentor.
Did Benny
Right.
just
Whether it be now or whether it be when you started.
That's tough,
Benny,
man.
did you just say testicle or statistical?
What?
Statistical. Statistical. We want to talk about that.
Oh man.
They were asking about JRs earlier.
All right, guys, let's go one by one. So who's go? Joe already said he's gonna take Kevin. He's trying to grow his hair out like Kevin, so he's good.
Brian Barczyk's got long hair too.
Yeah, that's also true. No,
Can I
I'd
go
say
next?
I want to hear
who's going
what
first.
Sal has to say
Joe.
on this one.
Yeah, I'd say Kevin McCurley because he's got a huge facility. He breeds multiple different kinds of snakes, like boas and ball pythons. I'm into boas also, so.
He also has venomous.
And he also worked really close with Steve Irwin. So for me, that's awesome. I would just love to talk to him about all that, his days running on stage. Not Jimmy. I don't know. I'm on the spot now. I can't think of the guy. He's been on all kinds of host shows. I like watching those shows. Conan O'Brien running animals out to Steve Irwin and stuff, and see him on the old late shows running out animals to Steve Irwin. That's pretty dope. So,
So you're going with Kevin?
Yeah, I'm definitely going with Kevin. Yep.
You can't.
For
you can't
me, I'm gonna go with Billy. It's actually tough for me. I'm kind of torn in between with JKR, with Justin and Billy. But what outweighs it for me is that on a daily basis, you'll see people get really excited and make their day when Billy follows them, or when Billy likes their picture, or when Billy goes frontline and fights for the people. He always has the people's back, and to me, that says a lot about a person. I think all of these people, these 5 people, they're great, but to me, that stands out the most. Yeah, everybody has great snakes. Everybody's breeding great snakes, but Billy is frontlining. In my opinion, in my view, he frontlines and he's active with people. He's bringing people up. He's shout outs to everybody and stuff like that. And to me, if you're making people's days, that's awesome, man. That's respectable.
Yep. All right. Who wants to go next?
So for me, it's Billy.
Hey, I'll tell you with Billy too. I was in a live a few days ago with a young lady, Kayla, Mutations Station's daughter, Lucy Land Pythons, and he popped into the live and told her he was going to send her a snake.
Yeah.
Yesterday, he comes on the live with TJ, Atypical's son, Atypical child. Again, he comes on the live and goes live with him. He's very supportive of people. He will answer questions. I've asked him a few questions, and he DMs me almost immediately back. Mm-hmm. Awesome man. Awesome example for big breeders everywhere. They should all be like Billy. So he's mine.
His Patreon, I'm on his Patreon, and it's awesome. You know what I mean? The content that's being spilled out on there is top notch. It's amazing. I'm not just saying that because I'm on there. I'm also on other people's, and you know, Billy's is awesome.
Well, he has a mentorship, right, too, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, he has a mentorship.
Felix, were you saying something earlier? And you were trying to say something?
Yeah, I would say Billy as well. I like his passion and his enthusiasm and the way he interacts with people, just as Mary Python was mentioning. But, you know, a guy that has been also a mentor for us has also been Adam's Reptile. So just wanted to shout him out. He's a great guy. Adam's Reptiles.
Adam's Toronto, yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to shout him out, though.
Yeah. What about you, Chris?
No, it's gonna be Billy as well. Just his drive. You know, he just he brings the excitement up. You watch a lot of his videos, and he's never in a lull. He's just always hyped up. You can tell he has that passion, that drive. You can see it in him. It's not fake. It's not. He's not there, you know, just for money. He's really he gets excited about it. You know, see it in his face. He's like a kid in a candy store. So.
He's very engaged.
Oh yeah.
And it seems like he's connected to the community and engaged to what he does. It's just not a normal business. You could see the passion right through him. You know what I'm saying? That he has for those animals.
Yeah, nothing fake about him.
Yep.
Who's next?
You.
I'll go. I picked I would say Billy for sure. Canadian, got to stand by our fellow big wig here in Canada. Secondly, like everybody else has said, you know, he does shout outs to every single person who helps him out, sends him stickers and stuff. He does all those shout outs. He gives everybody credit. He's answered, like Mary, we've asked plenty of questions. He communicates with us in a heartbeat. He gave us a shout out for one of our giveaways that we're doing. The guy is an icon. People love to see him. They love it. He keeps it real. As good and positive as he is, he will also call out the bullshit as it drops. And that is the kind of a person that you want to be looking up to. Somebody who will see both sides of it and call it as he sees it, right?
Yep.
So Billy for sure. And I'm also going to give a shout out to my boy Daniel at Diabolical Pythons. He's my other one too. So
Brian, I just have a question. Was that a
Daniel
A
is
as an
awesome.
ABC?
Love
or was
Daniel.
that A? Which one was that?
Which one, sir?
When you started out with the A, was that A as an ABC or was that A as an A?
You know it. You know it. It's EH, man.
Hey.
You know it, man.
Let me see. Mary, you said Billy, right?
Yep, Billy.
Yes.
Owen?
Me, I'm gonna see. I'm torn between the same thing, JKR and Billy. The difference between Billy and JKR, I love both of them. I think I can get a vast amount of knowledge from JKR. It's just he's got a lot to give. But Billy, to me, is a real, genuine guy. He's very passionate about what he does. He's like that guy that will stand there and fight for you because you're a nobody, you know. And he'll do that knowing that what he believes in, and he makes sure that anybody and everybody will have a voice. That's the thing with Billy, and I think you can see it from his emotion, see it from how when he talks about the things he does. He's very passionate, and that's the kind of people you want to be model after. Just because, to me, is like there's nothing more than someone that cares about what they do, and there's other guys do too. But for me, I'm Team Billy, 100%.
You know what?
I'm a lone wolf.
Speaking of his passion, I was in the live with Chris Searcy on MJ's show the other day, Snapchat sessions, and he had everybody in the chat in tears with his passion, in protection of the community, in protection of what is right, and that was from his heart, and that's why everybody was in tears.
I've been quiet, guys. You didn't even realize that. Huh? I've been behaving.
That's good. I thought he put you on mute.
No. First of all, Billy's a freaking nut job. Okay. He's one of the first internet personalities that I came across, and I remember reaching out to him a few years ago, and I was just like, dude, I have mental issues, so I could definitely relate, and I know that he's not there.
Is that your take on taxidermy?
Yo, man, what is it?
Exotics? What's going on there?
So definitely I got a lot of respect for the names you mentioned, but Joe, I'm with you on this one. I think there's a lot of other people we could have named, but from that list of 5, I have to go with Kevin as well. Kevin has brought so much. Put it like this, Kevin's been in this game for so long. You know, he's just not that social media type of person, but we have books out there. One of my favorite top 3 genes still to today is the spider gene that gets a horrible rap, which Kevin played a major role in bringing that here. One of the first hardcover books on ball pythons. We can thank Kevin for that. So I really appreciate Billy. Billy brings a certain energy and passion. He keeps your passion lit, and he does that on a regular basis, which is not an easy thing to do. One of the things I like about Billy and Cusco, they just have a very, very different approach and different personalities, but they bring a very much needed balance to this hobby. But as far as a mentor, if I were to have one of them as a mentor, I'm with you on this, Joe, and I'm going with Nerd. I'm going with Kevin.
Going on with you. What's your take on this?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was like right away. My mind went to Billy, of course, just being fellow Canadian too. On top of that, like Brian was saying, and yeah, I mean, just he's super inspirational. I feel like he is probably one of the most positive people we have in the industry in terms of just bringing people up, and he shows respect to everyone. It doesn't matter what level you're at, and he will defend anyone as well. And we saw that. And I think what Brian was just saying about the balance between him and Cusco, I think on that live in particular, it was perfect. It was exactly what needed to be said. And to show their different levels was just absolutely amazing. I think it was exactly what everyone needed to watch, and a lot of good did come from it. But coming back to Billy, man, like he was one of the reasons I got into this back in like 2009. Once I started watching him, You know, and seeing his passion and buying animals back from when he was kind of getting out of clown stuff. That was when I was starting to get into it, and I had purchased clowns from him. And even at that point, when I knew nothing, we emailed each other back and forth. I don't even know how many times, him explaining genetics, and he was the one who kind of lit that passion for me. Oh, that's hard to talk. I'm distracted by the baby now. But yeah, I mean, definitely him. And I do also want to shout out another person, and that's Garrick DeMeyer, because he was one of the main reasons why I got into ball pythons. That guy, talk about consistency. There's no BS, no drama. That guy just shows straight snakes, man, and he doesn't need to do anything else, and he's super popular just from showing the animals he's produced. Like, no BS ever, man. No drama with that guy, so I just wanted to mention him as well. Just
Is that the same Garrick as that's not the same Garrick with the igloo incubator, is it?
No. This guy, Garrick DeMeyer, is Royal Constrictor Designs. I think he's in Wisconsin. Yeah. But check him out on YouTube if you haven't checked him out. He's pretty low key. Like, I think he just started Instagram this year, but that guy produces some amazing animals. You know, and he brings a lot of like the low key animals, and he works on the project so strong. Like, he's been working genetic stripes super strong, and you know, shows potential in animals that not everyone else is kind of working with. But yeah, in terms of those 5 though, Billy would be at the top for me as well.
Is it right?
I mean, I want to take this time and I want to say everyone that's on this list. I mean, thank you for paving the way. You know what I mean? You guys are laid down the whole foundation to what this industry is. You know, to me, you guys will always be the best. You know, there's a lot to learn from you guys.
It's also great. So I mean, it's really tough to really pick one, to be honest.
Yeah, it's hard. I agree.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Absolutely.
I think everybody can see their part in this whole industry. It is very hard. You know, there's a lot more names that we can put in there, but
definitely,
you know what? Let's pick the top 5 that's out there. That's basically people will know, and people that are there to, you know, up in the front line, always, you know, their face in the camera. People see them. That's what we wanted. And those 5s are, you know, what people normally talk about for the most part. But there are a lot of other people out there that we can choose from, but we just kept it to those 5. This is it, guys.
Owen, you're my hero. Owen, you're my hero.
I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate you guys joining us on our first live, even though it was a lot of technical difficulties, but we got it working. And we appreciate you guys. And we raised our cup as Breeders Round Table. I thank you guys for coming on. Thank you.
Salud.
Salute.
Till next time, guys.
Thank you, guys, man.
Your mind.
Awesome.
Take care, guys.
Take care, everybody.
Take care.
Take
See
care,
you guys.
Here, guys.
Look at the mono.
Es un coco.
Mono.